Clutches out. All the time. All the time. No problem. Good. No problem.
Hello? Hello, hello, hello. We are up and live and running both on YouTube and Twitch. Ray coming in early. Maybe the earliest I've ever seen anybody swing in. Ray, you're an absolute madman. Knifework, you're crazy as well. Actually is Knifework's the one who made me keen to the fact that they pushed the update a few minutes early. It was supposed to be like another 30 minutes. I was planning on going live, chilling here for like 30 minutes, eventually reading the patch notes, but Knifework is correct. The patch is currently dropping. Potato over on Twitch. Hello. How are you? Hope you're doing well. We managed to make it on. It's going to be, I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to be live today. We're jumping on late. And I've got an inspector coming to the house today to inspect the gas lines and whatnot. So I'll have to take care of that. The thing is with that, the inspector could literally show up between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. so you know, the people I had come and do the gas line are going to give me a call when he's on his way. We should know and get that all figured out. But regardless, that is, you know, 4.5 hours at the minimum that we're working with here, should they manage to get here at 8 a.m. But let's go ahead and jump on into it here. I'm looking for the patch notes. Bear with me a second. Adam, how are you doing? How are you doing? Oh, right, correct. We've got 30 minutes left until the servers restart as well. Adam, I'm glad you pointed that out. I was anticipating being able to skip that because the update was supposed to take until 4 a.m., but it did not take until 4 a.m. Brutal. Actually, what the hell? Where are the patch notes at? Today. Okay, well, I'm just gonna read this off of Steam really quick because this is super. No, they didn't. No, they didn't, you guys. Okay, hold up. Whoa. We got big. I gotta pull it up. Oh, I don't have a window capture on this scene. Give me a second. Let me zoom this in so we can zoom this in, you know? You know what I mean? Are you ready? This is big. Added more rock islands inside of the deep desert, primarily in the PvE area. Fuck, I should have read the rest of the sentence before we got all excited. Dude, just kick me square in the dick, why don't you? Damn it, bro. To allow for more resources and real estate. Oh, wow. This isn't going into effect until, oh shit, we just killed the thing. Here we go. This isn't going into effect until July 29th, after the Coriolis Storm Apex. Hey, it looks like they learned from their D6 debacle here. I got my face, my beautiful face being, hello, there we are. Hello. Ben, if you're reading this, your base power is out. Okay. Wow, cool patch notes that they threw in there. Let me see if I can scroll down for you guys here. Fixed an exploit that allowed players to gain experience using points of interest. What? I needed that XP exploit, like dead ass, bro. We're only like level 165 still. Fixed a vulnerability that allowed players to duplicate items in social hubs. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's just every week. And at least they're being a bit honest here. and at least addressing the fact that it was happening, because I didn't even know this was happening. You know what I mean? So they could have just swept this under the rug per usual. And then they fixed an issue where you could fall to climb the sides of a small shipwreck and get into a rubber band state. So big, huge patch notes coming in, and maybe the biggest I've ever seen in my life. Actually huge, though, with the Deep Desert update. Hopefully they add in some rock islands to the PvP zone as well. It is too much sand out there. Like, for real, it's too much sand out there, man. It's way too much. Get to Ben's Power Out Crash Party. Bro, Viking, is that real, dude? I don't know who the hell Ben is. I'm assuming you're just playing around. It's delayed, no restart happening. Are you serious? Oh, I'm gonna have to swap that. Hey, Meyer coming in with the sub over on YouTube. We appreciate you. We hope you're doing well. Welcome. I'm not sure if that's Botrix just now catching up with all of the subs or whatever. The warning keeps popping up. You told the devs to cancel the daily restart? Oh, amazing. Ray's on it. Dusty Dabs, hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya? How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good. Always good is an excellent way to look at it, Dusty. Gosh, what an optimistic way to look at it. I try to be optimistic, but even when I'm trying to be optimistic, it's the answer is it could always be worse, which is still kind of glass half full, isn't it? Was about to stream, but game update. Ah, yes. Correct. I think the game's updated though. I updated my game. I don't know if the servers are up. Let me launch this thing here and see what happens. Wasn't really a massive update, and honestly what they pushed through is coming through on the 29th mainly, so I don't know, weird. Can we get some context on that? Is there context to the Ben's power outage? No, there was nothing more about it. Ben's power is out though, so his base is decaying along with like hundreds of other bases, man. I swear, if you pop on my server, bro, siege by siege by siege, there are even like some mega bases that are just in full-on decay. I'm like, damn, bro. Damn, man. Dusty's, you know, I was a little concerned as well. I don't remember how many days I left my deep desert base with power last night. And I haven't checked my Haga Basin base in a while, so I'm worried now too. Maybe it's more so just a patch notes so everybody gets on and checks their power. Right? Potato, I have no idea what you mean. The one around the back at Star. Knife says his server's up. We're jumping in here. Give me a minute. The game's loading up right now, like currently as we speak. Give it a second, it'll pop in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're compiling the shaders. Brace yourselves. The CPU's getting absolutely pumped right now. Kick it all the way up to 99 CPU. You know you want to get there. There you go. Nope, only 92? Come on. Come on. Bro, this usually slaps my CPU straight up to 99 the whole time it's compiling. It hasn't broken 92%. Wow. Okay. Smooth compilation of shaders here. Literally nothing. I've never experienced a smooth compilation of shaders on this PC in my life. I'm not sure if that's something that Dune's doing or if it's, hey, maybe it's just getting used to these shaders. we swapped from an AMD GPU to an NVIDIA GPU, only to find out that our CPU is now a major bottleneck. But, you know, it is what it is. Your game isn't loading in still. That's strange. You should maybe pop into Steam and see if there's like an update. That could be it. How much longer are you on stream for? You just tuned in. Hey, Ember, hope you're doing well. Oh god, that's kind of like a variable question right now. It's realistically up in the air. So at the very minimum, we're here for another 4 hours and 20 minutes. At the maximum, maybe just like 6 hours. It just kind of depends on what's going on with this inspector that's coming out to the house. Server restart in 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and give everybody a bit of an update, because if you remember last night, we got our, we picked a fight that we shouldn't have picked. We picked too big of a fight last night. It's like maybe you don't fire at every single ornithopter you see, right? But realistically, what happened was we picked a fight with the guild, which is fine. And then my dumbass, I thought it would be a fucking brilliant idea to take my assault ornithopter out, because I thought I'd be able to park my assault ornithopter in safety. However, the base that I raided next to the guild that I was fighting, these wings were literally shooting out the side of the wall. So actually get screwed, right? And they were able to just like wreck the assault ornithopter. So we had to do a bit of an assault ornithopter repair / replacement. As you can see, we've got tier 6 wings cooked up here, and I also just went ahead and replaced the cabin, the tail, the chassis. The cockpit was already at like that. I didn't have to replace the cockpit. And then we left the engine, because that typically sits pretty well as well as the thruster. So we've got our good old trusty assault ornithopter back, which is fantastic. We gave that spice harvesting method a shot last night after we got off the live stream. After I got off the live stream, it was like, I'm going to make a video either on agave seeds or the spice harvesting method out here in the Haga Basin. And I was harvesting spice for like an hour out here, trying to do the whole siege swapping inside of the world map. And the siege swapping worked fine. The problem is I was not freaking running into a whole ton of spice fields. First off, there was definitely somebody else that was siege swapping. And second off, it's like I didn't want to like fly all the way across the map. I was like wasting 15 minutes searching for spice fields, when in reality most of them are just right there. I don't know, man. It was weird. We'll have to give that method a whole nother shot here, and because there's small spice fields, we might actually pop in and use this tier 6 static compactor. I'm not sure what this is compared to the tier 5, but it says its gather rate is very high. Its worm attraction is high, but it's a small spice field. We're up and down, you know what I mean? You're going to be taking you on my YouTube instead of your Twitch. There's about 5 bases at the beginning, and there's also 4 J-Wolf. Very nice. Are you still talking about the Haga Basin? J-Wolf's Haga Basin has just been completely abandoned. Lots of cheaters on J-Wolf's server is what it sounds like. Never build on the deep desert. It wasn't my deep desert base, Whispering Horizon. What had happened was we raided a base in the deep desert, and then I put a sub-fief down on that base to kind of claim the loot momentarily. Then after we took that, we followed the storm. So we followed the storm a little bit to see if we could find another base. We couldn't find another base, so I swooped back to the titanium we were going to take. As I was coming back to the titanium, we spotted somebody in an assault ornithopter. And what do we do every time we spot somebody in a assault ornithopter or anything else? It's on site, okay? It's on site. And we picked a fight with a guild that got angry. And then my dumbass, realistically, we'd have been fine, dude. I wouldn't have even lost my ornithopter last night if we weren't a dumbass and didn't bring the big chunky assault ornithopter out there. Because realistically, I was trying to knock it out in 1 inventory rather than 1.5 inventories with the scout ornithopter. Xena, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Still can't load in, Dusty. That is brutal, man. I don't necessarily know what to tell you here. Let me double check. Oh, look, check this out too. This is another thing. The most I can say is check Steam and make sure it updated. If it updated, like, man, that's crazy. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to load in. The server restart, correct. That's happening in 15 minutes. That could definitely be playing a role. Oh, check it out. We pulled out the static needle. We're putting away the poison, whatever blade we had, and we're whipping out the static needle. We're gonna be giving this a shot. This gives us 38 extra damage per hit, but we can no longer poison with that. However, we did also craft ourselves the Regis triple shot repeating rifle, which hopefully is possibly going to be like the poison replacement, if you will, should we be able to land poison on somebody. We learned yesterday, though, that even with this ambition drill shot here, there's something interesting that you can do. And I'm wondering if the sky guy we were fighting had heavy armor on. Because if he had heavy armor on... So I'd shoot him with the ambition, boom, and it would start to drill shot him, right? But then I lose my shield when I fire. And when I would lose my shield, he would go boom, boom, boom with what I'm assuming is this tier 6 sniper rifle. Basically just blitzed us, right? Once the shield was down. You're updating the game now? It only just dropped. Okay, Xena, maybe Dusty, it's like, maybe the update's rolling out slower. How's that new rapier, Scott? I don't know. We've literally not used it at all yet. I spent yesterday repairing this ornithopter, which didn't take that long, admittedly, but then I went and tried to farm spice for an hour to see if I could turn that into a video, and then I went and farmed agave seeds for 20 minutes and turned that into a video. Give me a minute. Dusty, we're in Dugap, but Dugap is, for all intents and purposes... Whoa, that is loud. Is the game audio coming through really loud? Oh, no, I got it turned down on the OBS. Okay. Just cranked in my ear. Debating going to the solo testing station for the new rapier. You don't know if you want to take like 30 to 45 minutes to do it. It's actually one of the easiest wave-based testing stations I've done. Yesterday we practically soloed it. I don't want to discount Mike's contribution though, because Mike did help us out there at the end, and it would have taken us probably an extra 12 minutes to break down those 3 flamethrowers on top of like the 2 melee guys I was chaining around. But yeah, we're on Dugap, Dusty, and it's a fairly dead server. There's one active guild in the deep desert, seemingly a couple of small groups, and then they might actually just now this week and last week be getting some actual competition in the deep desert from another guild that is more so just trying to use numbers rather than skill. Is like the guild that's rolling out there is actually thick. How long they stay, I don't know. Realistically, I'm hoping that they come out with server transfers soon, because I, like, realistically do not want to go and grind out the class quests and the main story quests and any of that. I'm not I'm not worried about regrinding the resources. That's not a big deal. I just don't want to do the quests. And so my concern is if I go make another character on another server, who's to say that server doesn't die off by the time I get my character leveled up? You know what I mean? Damn it, that would suck. You saw Arcadius at the arena earlier today and he did some testing on me. Turns out Poison and Fire does, in fact, stack. Man, I knew it. I trusted chat. Chat was saying that Poison and something stacked. Do you think I could make it there before? Can you break a Pentashield corner when the storm hits? Yes, let me show you that. I don't think I can make it to the auction house before the server resets, and if I can, it would reset with me there, which is just weird. We're going to hang here until the server resets, and then we'll go for sure check the auction house, because I'm curious if they sold or not. I swore it would have told me in here if they sold, but you actually have to claim it, so. Mordred, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, no, I'm definitely curious if those have sold, or even what's going on with the agave seed market right now. I would love to see what's going on with the market. It's been a good, like, 10 hours or so. Oh, right, the Pentashield. Check it out. Boom. Right here. This corner right here, you should be able to still damage it. The problem is, for every 1x1 square, it gets 3,500 health. So this is 7,000, 14,000, 21,000 health just on this wall. And if you do like a 10x10 box, bro, you're 350,000 health on each wall, which is unrealistic, especially as a solo. But you should be able to. I've only had the opportunity to raid one single pentabase because, and it wasn't even put up properly, and that was because people are goofy as hell on this server, so. Good morning, Mordred. Hope you're doing well. PvP swoosh. Good to see you, swoosh. Hope you're doing well. PvP is boring. If you're talking about, like, I think the air combat PvP is really bad. Personally, I have been enjoying the ground combat PvP, and what's funny is I thought ground combat PvP was pretty much figured out. But I swear, every single fight we get into, some people are using and experimenting with some, like, new tech and some, like, new ways of fighting, which just, like, takes me off guard a bit and sometimes is actually pretty effective. Like yesterday when they dropped that gravity shield. Like, what even was that, bro? What skill was that? Man, this thing is crazy. They were dropping this gravity field, and when thrown, it uses a modified secondary phase Holtzman field to amplify the gravity in a spherical area. This slows enemies and drains their power or decreases the speed of projectiles. That's crazy, dude. And the power drain at 2%, something else must have been compounding with that because our power actually got melted. The Ornithopter stuff is really poorly designed, and what's more irritating than anything, swoosh, is the fact that in reality there is no reason for you to get out of your scout Ornithopter with rockets to partake in ground combat, because if somebody's on the ground, you can just blow them up. So what is that update? Pentas can get broken? What do you mean? Pentas have always been able to get broken, Scott. You just had to shoot them here. You had to shoot them here. The update we talked about, it was like very, very little came out in the update. By shooting the middle? Xena, for real? So, I think previously, you see how that hit the Pentashield? I think previously the bullets were going through the Pentashield. So did they actually, Bro, why does... We added in an emote. I don't know if it's there or not. We added in the boom boom emote. for the followers over on Twitch. I don't know if it's actually showed up or if there's like a holding period or what. Okay, well that's cool then, actually. That means that you should just be able to shoot the pentashield now wherever. So you could actually go out this with a las gun and not have to worry about being super accurate. Boom, boom, boom! Hey, it is there. That's good to see. There was no holding period. Nice. I can't follow my own account, so it's like a follower-only emote. I can't follow my own account. It didn't give me the emote. I felt kind of shafted a little bit. I was like, what the hell? Yes, Scott, if they managed to get the corners into the rocks, it would be impenetrable. But they would have to get all four corners far enough into the rock that splash damage wouldn't affect it. But realistically, like I keep saying, if it's a 10 by 10 and it's 350,000 health, that would take me so many rockets to shoot. You know what I mean? It would be crazy. Wouldn't work. Mm. Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it, Patrick. I doubt that it actually does damage. 350,000 even on the las gun would take a long ass time, wouldn't it? I think it would. I would literally, if I wanted to break a 10 by 10 pentashield that has 350,000 health, I would for sure have to have, first off, this energy capsule, and second off, I would have to have this source of power. Then and only then would I possibly be able to break the corner as a solo. But even then, I'm not certain that it would do it. However, now that you can fire off in the middle and you don't have to worry about accuracy and you're just for sure pumping out damage to it, that could be big. Could be big. Uh-oh, did you get hit with a warning? Sometimes it is unfair, Dusty. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're leaving full carrier and crawler and chest in those bases in H or I. They trusted it so much. Oh. Yeah, so there were I keep hearing, Scott, of servers with those pentashield bases, and just they don't pop up on this server. I've only had the opportunity to raid one, and it wasn't built properly. So worm riding, swoosh. I'm really not excited for the worm riding. What's up, Ray? We need explosives like the rock melter from the series. I've never watched any. I don't know anything about the Dune lore. We don't need a second restart, Ray says. Ray always every day with these restarts. The restarts just kill Ray's vibe, man. He's having a good time playing, and then a restart happens. Like, why? Why would they do that? Dusty Dabs is still having a hard time getting in. That sucks. I suspect the worm riding is going to be very messy whenever it launches. I predict it's going to be lame, and I bet it's not going to be messy because it's going to be some stupid system. We can use the Haga Basin as an example, but I think predictably it's going to be mainly inside of the deep desert where you see worm riding. But let's just use the Haga Basin as an example and pretend that this is the deep desert. I think it's going to be very similar to that transport system that they have out there already, where that lady with the ornithopter will fly you out of the deep desert, like should you not have any ornithopter. So I bet there's going to be a person stationed right here, and he's going to be named Sand Wrangler Jim. Sand Wrangler Jim, you're going to talk to him, and then he's going to be like, you want to ride the worm? And then he's going to be like, all right, and then he sends you down here. And then you go through a little cutscene, and then you're right here. So you rode the worm. I don't think it's going to be live. I don't think people are going to be riding worms live in the deep desert. That would be super lame, swoosh, and that's just literally how I predict it coming out and happening. I could be like massively undercutting the devs, but to me, they can't even balance the ornithopters versus ground combat. They can't even balance the ornithopter versus ornithopter, and it's like they can't even come up with a rewarding PvP system. So what faith do I have that if they did let people ride around with worms, that would be balanced in any way, shape, or form? So I think, like you said, if they just launched it like that, it'd be so messy and just that's a bit of a mood kill for me, in my opinion. If people are just riding around worms. I don't even know, dude. I don't know. I've got faith that the game will pull itself together, right? I've got and is I say that because I've got 300 hours in the game. I quite enjoy playing. It's fun, even with the redundant PvE and the piss poor balanced PvP. It's still a fun game. It's got solid bones to it, which is why I think it's actually got a future. They just need to figure out what they're doing, man. They just need to figure out what they're doing. I got nothing else to say. They just got to figure their shit out, okay? Figure it out. On all ends. On all ends. Just figure it out, okay? Just get it together. Get it all together. I predict it'll end up swapping mainly PvE, similar to what Conan did. Major work. I would say work on the PvE first because it's so boring, dude. It's so redundant. It's coming back on. Ray, you're something. You cracked me up, Ray. They haven't even wiped yet. Scott, that is for sure. That is a bit of a mood kill in this game. Is if your server is bad. I guess you could call it bad. I'm thinking like low population, but low population doesn't necessarily mean it's not like functioning properly. I think for a server to be functioning properly, you need a handful of small groups and guilds actually competing with each other. Whereas in if you just have one if you just have one guild that's just almost like Zerg status, you know what I mean? Even if they're not Zerg levels of numbers, it's kind of gives off those same vibes where it's like there's just no competition. Like if I played Rust, I would never ever play Rust in a Zerg because that's like there's you form a Zerg to remove competition, and that's not why I like the competition. So you need the guild versus guild combat, and if there's only one even small guild like basically controlling a server, that's why I feel bad for the fermentally unstable is just what I'm going to call them now. Their name keeps swapping, but we'll call them that because they've had no competition up until last week. So I'm hoping Dirty Mike's right and they got some people. I think Dirty Mike or Arcadia said that they were attacking some people sand crawling. So we can only hope that there is a bell curve of people rolling out here. You're in a server with a giant French guild that is basically the boss in the deep desert. Somewhat low population, but two main guilds bickering and not in an enjoyable way. Gotcha. Gotcha. Even two guilds going to war with each other is at least something, you know what I mean? But preferably it would be like three guilds and a couple small groups. But that's like in a perfect world. We had an update, correct, Mordred. We did have an update. The only notable thing that came out of the update is that for the next week's Deep Desert, they're going to be adding in more land to the PvE section of the Deep Desert. They didn't specifically say that they're going to be adding a lot more land to the PvP section. We can only hope. 100%, Patrick. Fastest fix for the broken sky combat right now is removing rockets from scout ornithopters. 100%. They should have never been on there, which is like one of those gameplay decisions that makes me question everything else the devs did because that doesn't make sense. Potato's right. You need more things to kill other than the same enemies, and then artificial difficulty increases with the PvE sectors where they're the PvE and the PvP zone of the deep desert, where all the enemies are just literally have their health maxed up to the 10, their reload speed dropped down to immediate, and their ability cooldown dropped down to practically immediate, and you know what I mean? It's just their damage cranked up. It's artificial difficulty. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. It's redundant as shit, and that's why I think a lot of PvE players got out to the deep desert when they expanded the safe zone, and they went, this is what I was grinding for. I'm like, I can't believe these people didn't realize it the whole time. But there's so many routes that they could take to actually make the PvE start to function and be good. Swoosh wants the rockets from the ornithopters yoinked entirely. I think they need to take the rockets off of the scout ornithopter and then slightly buff up the speed and agility of the assault ornithopter. Just slightly. You don't want to make the assault ornithopter like whip around quite as quickly, but you definitely want to make it to where it should be able to not have a gap made in the fight so immediately. Swoosh, if you'd have told me, if you'd have commented in any of the videos I made before this game released, and you'd have said that there would be multiple tiles of the deep desert that are nothing but sand and they're connected to each other, like a row of multiple tiles of nothing but sand in the deep desert, I would have said, no way would the devs do something like that. But lo and behold, that's exactly what happens in the deep desert every single week. Hey, Evil! Very nice, man. Very nice. You coming out here on work or with family or what? Hey, that's cool, man. Hey, doing it the legal way. Gotta appreciate it. That's cool, though. Where from, if you don't mind me asking? It baffles me that they nerfed the assault ornithopter when they nerfed the rocket ornithopter. Yeah, I was a bit shocked that they also took the 10% off the assault. I thought that they were bringing the assault into the top dog, which it should be. I never actually hit that guy's base up, Potato, now that you bring that up. Did Funcom was Funcom who created Last Oasis? It's not Funcom who made Last Oasis, is it? Don't say that, dude. Come on. It's not Funcom, was it? I never pay attention to the devs. Last Oasis is basically abandonware at this point in time. They've got like a side community developing that game. Wife is American and you're from Australia. Hey, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Getting away from them bugs, I see. Nice. I'll be right back. BLR. Hello, hello, hello. You got a check next to your name. What the hell is that? Still to this day, things happen and I'm like, what is that? But hello, hope you're doing well. Welcome. How are you? No, but they are similar style games. Donkey Krug did. Okay, Swoosh. I was like, it wasn't Funcom. I played a lot of Last Oasis. I liked Last Oasis. But I'm telling you, I like that that hardcore style PvP, that risk versus reward, you know, all of it's on the line. I'm like this close to re-downloading Rust, bro. I'm like this close, dude. You know what's actually pushing me off of re-downloading Rust? Komomo. I'm so glad that the algorithm pushed Komomo back into my life because the cheaters on that game are disgusting, bro. It's disgusting how bad it is. And I'm not about it, dude. I fuck. And then like big risk versus reward, and now you're dealing with a constant influx of get the hell out of here, bro. It's up. It's not up, Ray, you son of a gun. You debated me again. Adam? Yeah, I'm too gullible. You guys, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be back. God, dude, my shoelaces on these shoes are like wonky, bro, and I'm sitting here like pacing back and forth, dude, and I untie them constantly. God, 24/7 PvP is a lot to juggle with. I just, man, it's the cheaters that kill me. Like, I don't mind losing my stuff. Why am I always standing? So when I sit down, Potato, I got like a pinched nerve or something on my back left shoulder. And when I sit in this position for too long, it hurts. It freaking hurts. And also, I get animated sometimes. So like if I was playing Apex Legends or something, like I need some range of movement. I need to get like a cordless headset too, so I can like get a full range here of movement. We can get real active. It's a little bit different in Dune because it's not always such a high tense situation. High intensity situation. I'm not sure if it's a pinched nerve. I'm kind of like a hypochondriac, and I'll self-diagnose my shit with all the time. But whatever it is, it hurts. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, if I'm sitting in that position for too long, it absolutely is brutal. It took 2 years for the visa to be approved. That is rough. I want to see if these sold here. Let's go ahead and check the market real quick. No. No, Potato, this has been happening for years, bro. I'm not going to the doctor for it. It'll work itself out, or it'll just stay that way forever. Hey, I appreciate it, Escape. I appreciate it. Arakeen, let's go ahead and see if these things have sold. Place your bets. I'm gonna assume that I was trying to sell 200 of them. I'm gonna guess that 20 of them sold. That actually would be that'd be funny, Xena, is if I got one of those I don't know what they're called, right? But they're the new VR like trackpads or whatever that people are hooking themselves into. I don't know what company's putting those together, but it would actually be funny if I strapped myself into one of those and I'm not even playing VR. I just want the the range of movement so I can walk and rant while I'm like getting all hyped up about something. Walk it off. Let me walk it off for a second here. I'm just fucking yeah, the Omni treadmill. Yeah. That would be good. $20K. Oh, it's 20,000 for that treadmill? Yeah, get the hell out of here, bro. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, right. That'd be alone. What? Why is my old man got no clothes on? It's a facade. He's got clothes on. Everybody look away for a second. They'll render in. Damn, not a single one of them is sold. You sick motherfuckers. Very interesting. Nobody's undercut me either. Bro, I'm telling you, people were paying 6,000 a piece for these. No, he's not. It was a it was a magic trick. He's got his clothes on. See, we're fine. All right, it's a no-go on the agave seeds yet. We've got the weapons vendor this week, and our faction completely dominated the Landsrat in 2 days, so we could get the rocket launcher. How did you know ahead of time what you had coming up, DB? I can't open the Landsrat on this. Yours did sell? Yeah, I'm telling you, Potato. People will pay that much for agave seeds. The hell they won't. The duped money is drying up. Hey, you're right. You're right, Swoosh. Hopefully, damn, you make me want to go, like, check the Haga Basin for bases for real. Hopefully they, banned the shit out of those players. Am I going the wrong way? Oh, no, we're not. Yeah, you're 100% right, Scott. It probably is more of a long game. We'll see what happens in the 3 days. I'll check the market every so often to see if somebody's undercutting me. We'll play the back and forth, I suppose. Alex, hello, how are ya? MK6 schematics are practically not on my auction house, Patrick. They're just not there. I tried to take the static blade out there to see if anybody was trying to sell it, to see what I could possibly sell it for. It's just not there, dude. There's a large guild of streamers in your world, and they had notice. How would they have notice? Forgot we were talking about the Landsrat. Let me pull that up. They should have no notice. What, Funcom reached out and was like, hey, the fucking reward this week is gonna be that. Like, there's no way, dude. I find that hard to believe. Now, it could be data mined. It could probably be data mined. Yeah, data mined, Evil, you're right. That's what I'm saying. Data mined. That would have to be, like, per server, you would think, though, and that then kind of, like, whole tracks with the whole server of big streamers. Yours is still stuck on connecting. Yo! Ren. That's crazy. Is Dusty still here? Dusty, did you manage to get in yet? Dusty still can't connect either, dude. Okay, we'll do some research here. While we glide out, let me see. Are you guys on the NA servers? I'm assuming. Let me check the Discord. Yeah, both NA. He plays on solitary. Okay, it seems like nobody on solitary can get in right now. From what I'm picking up on Reddit, we have a message from 3:56 a.m., which is 20 minutes ago. Somebody saying the solitary server down for anybody else. Somebody saying that they still can't get in. Permanent connecting bug. So you guys aren't alone. This is something that's happening. it's so weird because I didn't have any problems. Is Uju, are you getting the connecting bug as well? Anything good in the patch? No, Alex, except for next week they're going to be putting more land in the PvE section, the safe zone of the deep desert. They said mainly in the PvE section, so it might actually get pushed out here with some land as well. We can only freaking hope. I think yeah, that's what we're getting ready to do, Potato. We're about to fly around. Xena, you're out as well. You're okay. Evil Box is on, but he's on an Oceania server. Oh, Australia. Xena's in Australia. NA. More bases to raid then. My server is up. People could get on my server. I don't know exact. You have Perryport internet service provider. It might not be you this time, Uju. It might be the actual servers themselves, but it's like an NA thing going on right now. Oh, Yanzi's also stuck on connecting. This was happening before the restart. Ancient Way is selling for 2 mil on your server. I would pay 2 mil for the Ancient Way for real. Nobody sells that shit on this server though. Granted, it's been a while since anybody's had access to the weapons vendor, and you only get one schematic, and I think basically everybody was using theirs up. Oh, that's good, Uju. That is good. I agree, Swoosh. The PvE shouldn't be expanded this far into the deep desert. It's trivialized what this whole thing is. My next suggestion would be to verify your Steam files, but this is happening to a lot of people, so I would now assume that it's not a you problem and it's a them problem. Does that make sense? Unfortunately, it's like, how long is it going to take for them to get it back up? You can only really guess. 2 suspensor belts, power packs good, shields good. Everything's good. Oh, that's a really good point. That's such a good point, Claxer. Damn, bro. I should have, a $50 alt account, though, no? Or can I create another character on this server with the same account? Pay $50 to get a second fucking thing? That's crazy. What's this update for today? The update realistically didn't push anything out except for it, like, addressed some duplication bugs that they had going on, per usual, and then they said that during the next reset of the deep desert, they're going to add in more land to the PvE section of the deep desert. Ushu's become enemy number 1 on his server. Family and friend sharing? Man, I gotta look into that, dude. I gotta look. If you family and friend share, can you guys play at the same time? Because my kid sees this game, and he's like, I want to play with you. I'm like, no, you don't, bud. He hates PvP games, and he likes playing in creative mode. So I'm like, dude, you don't want to play this. Trust me. But, howdy, Hank. How you doing? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. I think they should have made the half resource cost only in PvP areas. I think they should... I think the half resource cost out here makes sense. I think in the PvP area, if you build, you should get more stuff from your refineries. So instead of, you know, getting 10 melange from 750 spice, I would get 15 melange from 750 spice. You know what I mean? In like a 1.5 times ratio. I think that would incentivize guilds to build out there. But even then, realistically, would it be worth it for them to risk losing all that shit out there with how easy base rating is? I don't know. You'd have to be pretty certain that you're going to be able to have somebody online at all times. Storm from the Dune community just acknowledged in Discord they're aware of the connecting issues. All right, Yanzi's got an update. Huge. Big. That makes me feel a little bit better. You have 5 family share accounts to buy guns from Landsrad vendor every week. You don't think you can play at the same time? Yeah, that's brutal. That's a bummer. Man, Uju, what are you doing? What are you doing? Surely you can get some more done than that. I'll be right back, and then we're going to go scout this deep desert. Man, that's brutal, Uju. It's almost kind of weird that they would be able to track you so efficiently, it sounds like, you know what I mean? Because we've made enemies on this server, and these motherfuckers will track me down sometimes. But even then, there's seemingly plenty of opportunity to farm. But granted, I play on like a weird off time on this server, you know what I mean? 42 watching, but only 9 likes. Can always count on OMC pushing for them likes. It's better than the 2 likes we had the other day. We had like 60 people watching, and OMC was like, we only got 2 likes. I was like, oh my gosh. People don't like me. I'm just playing. You can't get hunted. Oh yeah, cruise. They should add a warning. You have been scanned by more than 5 people. Run. What do you mean scanned? Hey, swoosh coming in, pushing the likes up to 10. We're now at double digits. Big. Making waves now. Now we're making waves. Man, that's crazy. That is wild, Uju. I'm hoping that some people don't come back so you can get some stuff from their base. I don't know, man. I don't even know if we're gonna find any bases in the deep desert, but I always roll out here with little hopes, and then we end up finding somebody. So, what size clan are we running? 1. Solo. We're all by ourselves out here. PS, it show me 18 now. Uju, what server are you playing on? Yeah, I'm waiting for the server transfers to come out before I decide to like pull the trigger on either joining a guild or trying to create one. I think in a perfect world, what would happen is we would have a server scouted out that has 3 guilds fighting with each other, maybe even just 2 big guilds fighting with each other. And we would either roll in and join one of those guilds or roll in and be the third or fourth guild to kind of like try and disrupt the competition, you know what I mean? That would be a perfect world. Life scanned with the handheld scanner. Gotcha. I don't think I've ever been scanned with the scanner, but I can never tell. Guild Wars would be fun. The problem with that as well, even if we manage to find a server and get into some Guild Wars, the problem with that is guild versus guild combat is just really not facilitated very well right now. Honestly, there's no there's really no risk in the game unless you're dumb enough to get your ornithopter zeroed out like we did last night, because I literally shoved my ornithopter into a situation it shouldn't have been in. So, like, if you can get your ornithopter pocketed, there's really no real risk to losing anything. So I'm with you, Swoosh. I like to go and pick at the guilds, even when I shouldn't be. Is that what spice is? Ushu, is that what spice is? Gross, dude. Don't tell me that's what spice is. Fucking nasty. I'm right there with you, Evil. That's exactly what I want. I want to be a solo player that is causing problems between 2 guilds, you know? Maybe those 2 guilds are fighting and I come in there. One guild's beating the other, but when I come in there, I shoot some rockets at the other one. Maybe my randomness turns the tide of the battle or confuses the other. I just want to cause disruption, and I can't do that right now because there's only 1 guild on this server. Now, that might change. That might actually change this week. That's a good point, Swoosh. You get 10 on you. You're right. That one time we had 4 chasing us down, I think is what it was, or 5. But even then, I managed to get my ornithopter pocketed. They blew me up immediately after. Immediately after. But we managed to get it in the pocket. Okay, I'm getting dizzy here. I didn't mean to be spinning while I'm trying to tab out and see what the Steam charts are saying. Is that what you're talking about, Skull? Cause I saw that the other day. The Steam chart was looking rough, dude. It was looking rough. Like Once Human has more players. Granted, we just hit that update. A 24-hour peak of 50,000 is not bad. Nah, you're tripping. We're just playing at a dead time right now. Yeah, Once Human only hits a peak of 35. I mean, still hitting a peak of 50,000 is still pretty good there, Skull. I've been in some situations where the only way out was to spread and bail and hope a few got away, like when 10 guys fire you once and hit you, it's over. Yeah. It feels slow today. We've just now popped out in the deep desert, and this is typically the slowest time of the day. Damn it. This is typically the slowest time of the day. You might have, like, Dirty Mike out here running around. He might have fallen asleep by now. Sven or whatever. Sven! Sven! Might be running around. Lydia. Basically that one guild. Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to swing by an area, don't we? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm on NA. I am on NA. That's why I'm, like, confused that there's some NA servers that are down and we're up for just fine. Yep, that one's about to blow. I don't think those actually damage you. At least they don't damage your player. They might damage your vehicle. I stood on top of one in the Haga Basin that blew and it did nothing. It might be different with the medium ones. I don't know. But I'm with you there, Swoosh, actually. There's been a couple times that we've been being chased down, and it's like, look, best case scenario here, we're going to die and lose our vehicle fuel cell. But I'm going to try and get down and get this ornithopter pocketed so we don't lose anything substantial. Do I want to try it out? No. No. We got an ornithopter zeroed last night. No. No, I do not. Is my call sign Nightcrawler? No. It should be, though. It should be. It should be with the schedule that we've kind of landed ourselves into here, huh? Would you say you get most of your mats from farming or raiding bases? Farming, Yanzi. Raiding bases should realistically be something that you're only passively doing. It's kind of a pain in the ass, though, so, like... It's kind of a pain in the ass to do that. So, like, if I were coming out here to farm, I would fly out, check these... I think these are all safe zone, actually. If not, I would check these islands, swoop up, mine some titanium... you know, swoop over, check this island, and then deposit the titanium. If I didn't see any bases, that's fine. And now for, like, Stravidium, maybe on the next trip, I go way out of my way to mine a Stravidium island way out in the distance, but in doing that, it's taking longer, but I'm also scouting islands while I do that. And if I manage to find a base, I don't just sit at that base, for the most part. You know, you just peg where that base is at, you slap a respawn beacon down maybe, and then you just go about your farming. You know? And like Potato's saying, ever since they expanded the safe zones, the bases are few and far between. You know, honestly, you're right, Swoosh. That would be the game plan. I wouldn't be able to scout bases anymore, though. Like, in the farming method that I use, I also still am scouting bases. But you're right. Like, the best plan would be to bring, like, a scrap buggy out here with a tier 5 cutter ray and a nice storage boot. And then over to, like, a titanium island and just mine the shit out of that and then transport... Whoa, 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 whoa. We found someone. This looks like a bit of just a little forward operating base. I don't know why it's made in the smallest tier of whatever here. But yeah, this is what we should be doing. We should be bringing forward this is what we should be doing. And he would just ride his buggy around, smash the titanium ore, and then when he was done, he'll transport the shit to safety. Yes, that would be the most efficient way to do things. Would it be the most fun way? Absolutely not. No way. Oh! That's what we came over to this thing for. Thank you for reminding me. Is that carrier ornithopter still down here? Homeboy better came and got his stuff. This was the correct island, wasn't it? It was F6. It was either F6 or it was F7. We'll check the other one as well. It looks like he came and grabbed his stuff. Good on him. I'm pretty sure that stays. But we had a server update, so maybe the server update wipes it. Was it F7, Potato? Are you sure? We'll check F7 as well. I swore it was F6 because he was mining titanium. We pulled like 1,500 titanium out of that thing. It is 50-50. 100% F6, that's what I'm thinking, Hank, because this isn't a titanium island, and we weren't this far out. So unless that update wiped the ornithopters out, he came and grabbed his stuff. We could go check that by checking the couple ornithopters out on that other side. That's such a good point too, Swoosh, is like I need to have at least a couple big guilds fighting each other and maybe trying to build in the deep desert, so we could potentially run into a big guild raid where it's like they're online, but I've got a respawn beacon down or an ornithopter slapped down somewhere, and it's like we're getting in, bro. We're doing our best to get in. We're at least trying to get in, you know? Damn it. Yes, I need a server swap to come out. Like, I'm literally half tempted to re-roll. But dude, I don't want to. If I were to re-roll, we would have to go into it completely differently and maybe try and do the quest to ornithopter grind rather than grind to ornithopter grind and then just grind with the ornithopter to get mats from there. Does that make sense? You quest to get money and then buy the ornithopter. That was like when we were doing our day one speed run, somebody brought that up and I was like, damn, that could be actually potentially good. Why is my gas burned, bro? The gas has been burning in proportionate to the amount of gliding I'm doing. I don't know why. The leveling is such a grind. It is. It's so brutal. Swoosh, if I were to do that for real, it would have to be... I get too high up, you're right. You're right, I do ride it past the 750 too much, don't I? Potato, you always call me out. You always keep me on the straight and narrow, don't you? Yeah, we're way too up in the air. Yeah, they did say they're adding more rock islands to the deep desert, but if you read the fine print there, they said mostly into the PvE section of the deep desert. And when I read them say mostly in the PvE section of the deep desert, I hear only in the PvE section of the deep desert. So we can get our hopes up that there's going to be some substantial land put out here, but not seeing it. Turbo to seeds, sell seeds, buy Thopter easy. Scott, that's actually not the worst idea in the world. It's not a terrible idea. Yeah, because you could fly with those one people from the trading base. You'd have to be on a server where obviously the seeds are selling. How much is it for the ornithopter that you can buy from the vendors? Isn't it only like 200,000 or something like that? That's easily doable with some agave seeds. That's a good point. Shit, I didn't even think about that. I'm all like, let's do some quests. Realistically, I'd have to do the quests anyways for the stupid classes, but... And then I so quickly talk myself out of doing it, it's insane. I'm like, questing? No. We're absolutely not. No, not happening. We'll just have to hope that they, We'll just have to hope that they come out with character transfers soon, or that this server starts popping off. I was like, where are all of these guys ornithopters, bro? They got the numbers out thick. If that's an empty bay, got like fucking 8 people out there. Yeah, you're right, Swoosh. I made a video talking about a hill of fiber. Yeah. Fiber is good, and 25 is like a quick dump price on that as well. Every time I see a powered down base nowadays, I'm like, did they take the subfief? Was it a cheater's base? Yeah, it's been chunked up. We should maybe go check that control point. Where's that control point? Where was that control point? There's one there. Did they move the control point? What the fuck? Did they move the control point? E4? Oh no, E4 and E5. And then there's one south of us. Bro, I am so confused right now. Which one of these did we see canned at? It wasn't this one, was it? I need some fuel cells, and I want to go check those control points. Oh! Nailed it. Any news about the game still being down for some people? I mean, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard them say, like, I'm in now either, so I'm assuming it's still down. They did... in Discord, apparently, somebody mentioned it. And they are aware of the issue and are working on it. That's all that we've got so far. That's so funny. You can't log in, network error? That sucks, man. Yeah, but Scott, the class quests require you to do some like end game PvE, and I say end game lightly. You know, end game Haga Basin PvE, which was easy when I was doing it on stream because we were like way over geared. We decided to do our class quest grind way late. If you did the class quest grind like right off the rip, it'd probably be a pain in the ass. So you'd have to like land yourself a decent schematic at least. But you're so right, Whispering Horizon. They break the game with every patch, bro. It's spaghetti code. How many times I gotta call out the spaghetti code, dude? It's so wild. They'll like delete a duplication. They'll delete a duplication bug, and now all of a sudden nobody can log in. Where were you guys logged out at? Like, is there any chance that you were logged out at like Arakeen or Harko Village? Cause if you were logged out at Arakeen and Harko Village and you can't log in, I bet you anything it had to do with them deleting whatever duplication bug was happening with the vendors out there. And, you know, they're messing with the code for Arakeen and Harko Village, and then all of a sudden you can't log into that area. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If there's a new bug that is going to You're so right. I gotta piss, and then we gotta go check these control points. Potato's actually right. We did run into an update here, and these guys do the dumbest thing during updates. So let's go see. Let's go see if there's a D6 debacle here, and if any of the control points have been moved. That's a worm, right? That is a worm. It's not a storm. I'll be right back. It's definitely a mixture of the two, Swoosh, that's for sure. And yes, uh, whatever third-party testing company they're using, they need to find another one. Because those guys are phoning it in, dude. The devs are phoning it in as we need gas. The devs are phoning it in as well. Don't get me wrong. Because if the devs actually played their game, there would have been a deposit all button on the water, but there's not because they didn't play their game realistically at all. So there's that. But the third-party testing team, I put less of the responsibility on those guys, but at the end of the day, they have a job to do and they're not fucking doing it. But they can't really technically be blamed for this spaghetti-ass code, dude. It's not their fault that one thing changes over here that changes 12 things over there because for some reason they're intertwined. It's like, ah, oh, never mind, dude. We don't need to take any more shots for no reason. For no reason, huh? It's kind of like they had Pirate Software, like, build their code base. All right, we took the shot. All right, everybody relax. It's the only one I'll do for tonight. I can't. It's been too much. It's been too much fun. Bro, is there no fuel cells on this island at all? Licorice like that one, huh? Yeah. I've become way too enveloped in watching that collapse, and it is just peak entertainment. But I can't help but feel really bad, to be honest, which is why I'm like, let's just relax, all right? Also, I watched a Tectone video the other day where he was talking about it. The whole... Dude, I didn't want to talk about this, but I do want to point this out because I agree with Tectone. Though I don't play WoW at all. So you're getting this perspective from somebody who doesn't play WoW at all. Keep that in mind. But I agree with Tectone, and this was my thought on the situation when it first happened as well. The whole reason Pirate's collapsing is because he can't admit he's wrong, right? That's obvious. But it's also because that WoW debacle that happened, and he was right in that situation. I remember telling my wife, I was like, the whole internet's mad at this guy for running when the raid lead called run, bro. Like, what are we fucking talking about? What are we even arguing right now? All that aside, like, the guy is crazy. It all started in WoW, but it started in WoW and wasn't his fault. And I know that's not a popular take, but raid lead called run, which means run. I don't know shit about WoW other than that, though. But I heard the raid lead call run and then say come back. And my immediate knee-jerk reaction was like, you can't do that. That's immediately puts the blame on the raid lead. And honestly, anybody else who didn't run also has the blame. Like, what the fuck? Follow the call. That's somebody who doesn't play WoW. I don't know the mechanics. I don't know this, that, and the other about it. That's my 2 cents on it. Everything else that Pirate's done, he completely deserves to be shit on for. But that in particular, I'm pretty positive. And even when he doubles down on it, I agree with him because I don't know the guy's name, but whoever was arguing with Pirate about it was not listening to what Pirate was saying. And so why are you even going to entertain a conversation with somebody who is fucking sitting there not listening to what you're saying? That does go both ways, though. We should make some Dune emo. I put in the potato. I don't know if you were here. I did put in one. We got one put in. You're right. You're right, Licorice. I couldn't agree with you more, and it's that lying and doubling down that's a pattern with Pirate. I'm not defending the guy aside from the raid lead called run, which means run. So anybody who didn't run is not following raid lead's call, and honestly, like, it should all fall on the raid lead's shoulder. And the guy wasn't even acknowledging that. I didn't watch all this fucking drama play out because I thought it was stupid. I thought it was stupid drama. I thought people were dogpiling on Pirate too. I was like, this poor guy's getting dogpiled on. Oh, that's the arena. Okay. Where's the control point that's up here? I got up at 4:30 to stream. Mike, man, we're on a bit of a weird schedule. But I got up at 2 a.m. to go live. It was just about an hour and a half of setting things up and whatnot. You're right, Scott, and that's the whole problem, is he's literally incapable of doing that. That doesn't take away from the fact that, okay, we did scout this island. I remember this now. That doesn't take away from the fact that the raid lead fucked that one up. And Pirate, I think, had every right to stand his ground and say, look, I did what you told me to do. That wasn't my fault. At the end of the day, that wasn't my fault. At the end of the day, raid lead called run, so we ran, bro. And anybody else who didn't run was technically not following the call. That's all I'm saying, is I agree with Tectone. I thought it was crazy that Tectone even came out and said it, because I was like, that is a hot take, bro. That's a take that'll catch you some flack, dude. For real. But I was like, I totally agree. I said it since day one. Obviously not out loud, because I'm not finna tank that flack, alright? I'm not here to tank that shit. Man, it must have been south. It must have been in C5. That's 4,000 meters away? It couldn't have been. Where was that one control point? Where did where did, And build at? Hank says, for people that are having issues with logging in, try to log into a different siege and then log out and back into your siege. Wow. Swoosh, you're right. You're right. I'm not defending anything else that guy's done, bro. Not a damn thing else. Aside from the fact that he followed the WoW call, which was the right call to make. I don't know if there's anything else he could have done to help remedy the situation that they were in, but a raid lead making a run call and then a comeback call is maybe the stupidest fucking thing I've heard in my life. And I would have been Pirate handled it in a tone that was like calm. I would have been fucking pissed. For them calling me out after he made the run call and then a comeback call, bro, I'd have blown up, dude. I would have been pissed, man. It cannot be C5. Where was this control point at? Another D6 scenario? They just don't learn. That's what I'm trying to see, bro. Did they move this control point? They must have. It was D2, and then it was... It couldn't have been C5, man. That's not the point, Yanzi. It's not the point I'm trying to make either. Guy made the call. The call was made. But like I said, I don't know shit about WoW, so I can't even speak to like what he could have done or what he couldn't have done. I don't know. Messed with the solo farmer with my rocket launcher. Got a bit heated. Swatches on chopped her to Atreides. He has no idea. He's just, hey, it's the same guy. Little does he know. That's good. That's funny. I thought we were attacking a solo last night. And it turns out we just pissed a guild off, and then my dumbass goes and shoves my assault ornithopter into a box that doesn't properly protect my assault ornithopter. This wasn't it. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't frustrated. It was right next to us, wasn't it? The control point island was right next to us. I didn't have to fly far, and we saw Canned, like, up on this hill, wasn't it? The control point is in the middle of C5 now, but it wasn't here before, I don't think. I swear. It would be, wouldn't it? Swoosh. Or some that actually, like, persisted for a significant amount of time. Yeah, it'd be great. I don't know which way this thing's gonna fall. I know the ship's falling. I just don't know which way. I think we're out of the way. We came, plopped a base down, and then we were putting our base up, and then we flew to the island that was right next to us, and Canned was putting a base up. Canned was like, this wasn't PvP when it started, but it turned into PvP, which is exactly what happened the week prior. Is that power down? Let's go check. Am I looking for the carrier? The carrier seems to have gotten picked up. That or it got deleted with the update. One of the two. It's not a power down. It's not different from deep desert to deep desert. I think all of the deep deserts are laid out exactly the same. Am I conflating, like, 2 weeks? Am I confusing 2 different weeks together? Was it up here? Because none of this island looks like the island that Canned was on. Was it this one up here? Oh, it was this one up here. Okay. Right. I've picked it up now. I've picked it up now. This was here, and Canned was, like, based up. Like, right here or something, I think. Right there, maybe. Maybe right in the middle. I don't know. Pretty positive this was where he was at, though. Yeah, no, Funcom has learned their lesson about moving the deep desert around midweek. I might as well. Swoosh, you're right, but we're actually, and we will end up doing that. I'm kind of dicking around right now with these control points just to see. I do want to check this one as well. Just one last check on this one right here. But you're right. We're going to do a swoop of the deep desert, and if we don't find any bases or, like, any places to plot down, we'll go ahead and move on. I think it was F6 where that forward operating base was, but that's probably empty. But we're going to swoop down here. Do I have enough gas on me? Yeah, we're going to swoop down here and then up all the way to that H8 sector to see if, first off, maybe we'll pop down into that PvE sector to see if that chest is still being camped by that guy. And B, we'll see if that base is still up by that spice field and whatnot. Swoosh gets it. Get your ugly bases off of my deep desert lawn. After you empty it, delete it. This looks abandoned. Nope, still a sub-thief here. God, it blows my mind with how abandoned some of these bases look, and they still have a sub-thief. Is this not the PvP zone? Like, what is going on here? Where's the control point? I wish they would announce when they do ban waves. So that way it would be like, ban wave stream, we're checking the Haga Basin today. Maybe it's up? You fucking dickheads. Oh, for mentally unstable. There they are. Just when you thought they changed their names. I feel like this is how these guys are actually gaining a lot of points here. You'd be surprised. These control points, it's not like a bunch of points right off the bat, but if you're holding it the majority of the day, it does stack up. Circuit gauntlets? Interesting. Easy. Piece of cake. Whoa, oh, zone change out of PvP. Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. What about this guy? Right on the edge. Everybody living right on the edge. This guy right on the edge, huh? Yeah, so something weird happens with the control points each and every single week where, like, for the first hour of the deep desert, it doesn't register it as a PvP zone. So you'll have some people actually... Oop, we're not going that way. You'll have some people actually build out here on the control points before it registers as a PvP zone, and then their base is in danger. But that is a mistake that people should very quickly and easily catch and correct, so I don't anticipate running into that very often. Who put this rock here? I did. I would say AI did, with how these rocks get laid out. That or the developers are like, we handcraft each and every single deep desert. Every week we decide where to place the islands, and then we let it generate around it. It's doing a piss poor job. Your handcrafted deep deserts are empty. Empty. That is like a whole row right in the middle of the deep desert with no land. Wow. Wow. If you'd have told me I can look in a direction of the deep desert and not see any land before the game came out, I'd have said, shut up. I'd have said, you're lying. No way the devs would do something like that. Wow. Is that an ornithopter? What in the world? Oh, it's not. It's a crashed ship. Is it? It is. I want to pop out to this island over here to see if those other two ornithopters have been deleted or possibly picked up. I suppose they could have been picked up as well, but if both of those are gone, I'm a little worried that this update just deleted that poor guy's carrier ornithopter. I've got no confirmation that he ever came back to get it other than the fact it's not currently there. Man, is that a medium spice field? Damn. Who said that a minute ago? We might as well go mine a medium spice field. Like, look at that juice, bro. The juice, man. We'll be fine. Look at that juice, though. When I was messing around in the Haga Basin while I was off stream trying to... Like I said, I was either going to put out the video where... we did the Haga Basin loop of spice to see how well that worked, or we did the agave seeds. And I farmed spice for about an hour out there doing the siege swap method, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great. My RNG was ass, and somebody else seemed to be out there at the same time, which definitely made things difficult. Nah, that was a medium field. The small fields are like itty-bitty baby fields. This is a whole giant no-build zone here? My gosh, dude. Man, both of these ornithopters that were here yesterday are gone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And both of the chassis on those were broken, so for the people to have come back and got them, they would have had to come back and disassemble them. Which I'm not saying isn't worth it or not something that people would do, but... I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm starting to worry that the, Wow, what a spot. I'm starting to worry that the update deleted that poor guy's base. It's gone, gone, gone. Bang. Looks like it's still there, too. Give me a minute. My hands feel greasy. I'll go wash them real quick. But this base is still here. Oh! We have a storm coming. I don't know if it's going to hit this island.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Oh, man, it is hitting the island, dude. Freaking huge. I almost let my phone die, dude, which would have sucked, because that's I'm waiting on that phone call. I mean, it's still, like, ridiculously early. It's not going to come for another 3 hours, but... If the phone's dead, I'll never get it. All right, there's a medium spice field just to the north of this thing. There's a medium spice field just to the north of this thing. Realistically, it probably gets cleared out, but there's also somebody who's camping this chest down here. So is it possible that they use this to store some shit? I guess.
Sector weather
I don't know.
alert. A large
We're about to find
sandstorm
out.
is approaching.
It's probably going to be empty because realistically, it probably gets emptied whenever this person logs off. That would be the smart way to do it. I do need these. But yes, this doesn't even... This had to have been... He's only got one small chest here, you guys. So this had to have been a base that he was only storing schematics in. Because if he was actually pushing out, like, shit. We fuck up. Okay, the top isn't the way to go, is it? Down, 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 down. I should have just kept the base up. Oh, I'm fucked, bro, ain't I? Come on, man. Come on, man. There we go. In your face, storm. This is why you don't need one of those still tents. It's the weirdest thing ever. I would say that because there was only one small chest in there, I would say it's almost guaranteed that that guy was farming schematics. Rather than anything that would have required any sort of, like, substantial storage. You know what I'm saying? But this storm's gonna swipe all the way across here. It looks like... God, it looks like it's moving up a little bit, which is unfortunate. But we're gonna trail the back of it. Oh, we already deleted the base. There's nothing in it. Nothing. Empty. I doubt it was somebody who was holding spice, but we're gonna tail this storm here. Inside of the thing, sure, but if I were to go look inside of that thing, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything because I'd have to go through the entirety of that PvE section again, bro. I'm not sitting here for 45 minutes just to knock out PvE to possibly catch a rat. But we will tail... My days. We will tail this storm to see if we can't find any other bases, perhaps. This storm realistically barely hit any land. It only clipped anything on that edge right there. This is like the last island that we even have an opportunity at. Actually right here even as well. H6. I don't think it was far enough south to hit that small forward operating base on the Titanium Island. I doubt there's anything there anyways. This might be something that we hit. Oh, no, it's not I-5. Sorry. It's like H8 or something with the Emperor's wings, correct? Or H2 or something. It's a PvP ship out over here, maybe. I don't know. There's another medium spice field about to go off. That island barely got clipped, but it might have had its shield knocked. Very nice. Very nice, Evil. Nothing better than catching a full load of some spice, huh? I don't know if there's anything up here, but we'll check. Like, it most definitely didn't cut any shields on that island. There's another medium spice field. Damn, bro. Damn. Well, we tailed that thing pretty efficiently. I didn't see any bases in plain sight. It's an empty deep desert tonight. H8 also has the bigger buggy boot. Ooh. That's the one, though, with the Emperor's wings, correct? I'm less worried about the buggy boot. Sounds nice, but I'd love to give the H6 Emperor wings a shot. MK6 Emperor wings a shot. It's also at the H8 shipwreck. All right, cool. Keel. Am I retarded? Yes, I am. Super dumb. Super, super dumb. Who the hell taught me the alphabet? Sakari, how's it going? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and pop on down here. The last respawn beacon I set down at the base that we raided. So we don't need that. What was that? You guys see that? Hey, hey, what the hell was that? I don't like the big lag we got hit with the second we popped in here. Like, that was some thick lag, bro. Hey, guys, let my shields regain for a second, huh? Would ya? Jeez. You guys seem so aggressive. Here we go. Fucking dude. Oh my gosh, bro. Good fucking game. There he is. Are we being stream sniped? Genuinely feels like that was a stream snipe. Fucking get off me, dickhead! I don't know where he went. Got no ears or eyes on this guy now. Two? Called in reinforcements. Oh, is he fucking going for the loot? Oh, I should grab the bracelet, shouldn't I? There we go. Did you see that guy? I saw that guy. What the fuck? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is stuff you pick up out of... This is just stuff you get out of that one dumb thing, right? That's just stuff you get out of the crashed ships, right? We don't need that. Somebody's running.
Who's that?
Oh, why'd I just walk right into that? Wings come from H2 and the rest is testing station or falling ships? Okay. It's not that big of a deal. They're Albatross wings too, correct? Yeah, these are shit. These are the shit wings. How quickly does that PvE respawn? Because how else would he have gotten into this without having to fight the PvE, right? That one guy that was here? That one guy rolled up on us. I was convinced he was stream sniping just with how he basically immediately was up on that rail looking directly at us. But that could have just easily been coincidence. You know what I'm saying? That could have just easily been a coincidence. So I'm like, how long does it take for that AI to respawn? He would have presumably had to kill them and then grab this and then got out of here, right? Like, you would think that's how it worked. Like, this got looted. That got looted. And does that mean the next person who rolls through is going to have the AI to fight as well? Do we have a possible, like, login camper? There's a lot of questions that I have. Very little answer. Is it possible that the AI wasn't respawned and he was able to just run straight through? Maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. One thing I do know is I think I hear my kids stirring around. I'll be right back. Potato, good night. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you have yourself a good one. Take it easy, Potato. Since there were still fighters, that chest was looted like 45 minutes ago. No, honestly, I haven't the slightest idea. I haven't the slightest freaking idea. This was a really weird situation here. So, basically, we rolled up to this this station, and not minutes after we got into a pinch, somebody rolls up and basically immediately finds us. We circle around. He ends up just grabbing the bracelet. He's not even here to partake in the PvE. He's just going for the loot. He grabs the bracelet and dips into this room. But if I'm not mistaken, in order to even get to the chest room, you have to fight all of the PvE in there. So is it possible he said, no, I don't want to do the wave of PvE that's in there, and he just left? It is. It is possible, I suppose. You know, he's like, I'm not going to be able to get the loot. I'll just leave, you know? Whatever. Or he's like, I don't want to fight this wave when I know that guy's going to come in right behind me, that guy being me, you know what I mean? And then it begs the question, the third guy. We had that third guy roll up as well. So, I didn't come here to not get a chest, though, so we're in another situation where it's like, do we wait out the rat? Hey, 2 full loads of spice. Very nice. That's totally possible, Hank. He's like, okay, I'm not going to do the wave because I don't want the PvP guy to come in. And so he just took off. Right as we finished the wave and got into this room, we heard his ornithopter take off. And the third was a random. Yeah, the third guy seemed to be random. Just a random... I think it was a whole random confluence of events there. Like, the first guy that came in, I don't think he was stream sniping. I think that's just happened to be the pillar he landed on. And it happened to be right where I was. You know? Damn. I was like, you think you could fire through that? Dan! Good morning. How you doing? No, look, the AI's already respawned. There's at least 2 of them. So it's possible he just came and cleared that AI and looted it and left. You believe you can sneak past the NPCs in that last room without triggering the event. Ooh. Ah, so if you come in through that door and you just grind the left right here, you can just slide right through, huh? That rat bastard. What a dirty, stinky rat. You know it's bad PvE if people are literally doing everything they can to avoid partaking in the PvE and they just want to fucking hit the loot. Good, waiting on spice to cook. 10 hours to go. Brutal. That must be a hefty load of spice. Huh, that's crazy. Then predictably he did loot this then, and it's not a rat that we're waiting on. I think the sentiment remains the same, though. I didn't come down here to not try and get some Emperor's Wings, I think. But it's like 90 minutes in it. I don't know if I want to wait 90 whole minutes. Maybe we go back out and dick around with the PvE. You guys didn't see me. You did get the chest? Dirty Mike, you dirty bastard. You dirty dog! So you can just sneak past that, huh? Can I attempt to do that now? Is this gonna be red? Can we at least give that a shot? Yeah, it is gonna be red. Alright, they already fucking see me. Yeah, that's where I popped in, but I wasn't running in here just to blitz through it. Bro, the timing of you rolling up and then landing on that pillar couldn't have been worse. I was getting steamed by the PvE in here. And then you pop on that pillar. I was panicked, dude. When I jumped over to you, it was out of complete and total panic. They're already looking at me, bro. And that door's already red. So did I already trigger it? Like, how are other people getting through? Did I already trigger the problem? That sucks. Gotcha. No, I'm not gonna hang here, bro. So that third guy was just a random person then? You know somebody was in here randomly, correct? Oh, shit. Oh, that's just AI, bro. What the hell? That AI was moving around like a person. That freaked me out. I panicked. Nobody talk about the crippling strike I just threw at the air back there. Didn't happen. Oh, whoa. Yeah, somebody rolled in right behind you even. I don't know what the hell, man. Somebody else has that on a timer, so if you're hitting that on a timer, you might want to make sure you get there in time, because he's rolling around. He might have just hit it randomly, actually, with the way he's got all that shit on him. That's so annoying. It's so annoying, and I don't think that they should just make it personalized loot to where everybody can go smash it, because you're still going to have these people camping it, dude. God, they've got to come up with something, bro. They've got to come up with some sort of, like, forced check. No, it was still just a confluence of events, OMC. When I looked at the door, it's still green when it's not supposed to be. When I looked at the door, it was still green. That back door was red, wasn't it? It doesn't... Oh, what is this, dude? We got a G8 forward operating base as well. What the hell? What the hell? goofy people on this server, man. It's gonna be another cleared base, but I've never seen a back wall along with a front wall. A full pentashield base, huh, Hank? You know, I've never seen a properly built pentashield base, unfortunately. Two logged into the chest. That's so gross, dude. That's so gross, man. What's even grosser about it is I bet they're like... I bet that's not even like their alt accounts. It's like their main account. They're just like scared to be in the PvP zone and they just want to get these schematics in mass. And what's weird is our auction house on this server is broken. There is no schematics for sale. So it's not like these people are doing it to farm money. It's just weird, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if it's bots, like straight up gold farming bots. I've only seen one person even attempt a pentashield base on this server, and they didn't do it right. We were able to raid it pretty easily. Not unraidable, but incredibly inefficient to raid. You know what I mean? Reemster coming in with the follow over on Twitch. Welcome. We hope you're doing well. Welcome. 100% it's bots. I would have to agree with you. And they probably are selling the schematics. They're just selling them in real world trading markets. Classic. They're all over your server? Oh, and you know what? It is technically unraidable, you're right. If they sink it into the wall properly, you're right. I keep thinking that people say it's unraidable because of the amount of health. But right, if they sink the things that you... Actually, you can damage the center of the wall now. So it's still... You can still damage it. So they shouldn't be they shouldn't be unraidable. They just have like 350,000 health. So it's like, do you really even have something that can output that much damage? How many storms are you going to have to wait? But you can damage the center of those pentashields now, and it counts. You no longer just have to hit the very corner of it. Yeah, but I'm saying you can shoot the front of it now. It doesn't have to be just the corner. You can raid via shooting the front of it. The bullets don't penetrate anymore, and it actually lands and does damage. I'm telling you, go and give it a shot on maybe one of the smaller ones so you can actually see the damage get hit. But I had two people on the stream earlier saying that they watched somebody raid hitting the front of it. Yeah, I thought the same thing, Hank. Because previously, when you fired a bullet, it would go straight through that wall, so it was technically not damaging anything. F6 is untouchable for your server, just a bunch of shitters camping and coming in and out of the pentashield with missiles. That sucks, man. Honestly, there are other titanium nodes out here, are there not? It's not strictly F6 with all the titanium. When I mine stravidium and titanium, I'm typically mining it on these weird outcropping islands because I'm searching for bases while I'm doing it. I'm like, wait, that might be what we're getting ready to go swap over to now is a storage, but I just don't know. I could be wrong on that, Hank, too. I'm just going off of what people have said on the stream. I haven't, like I said, nobody's building pentashields out here, so I can't fire at one to even find out. Okay, thought I had more inventory than that, but... I suppose I could have dropped the scraps, whatever, it's no big deal. No big deal. I think we're getting ready to go swap to a storage on this thing, though. Maybe do some farming while we look for these bases. This server, the big node islands, actually aren't that bad. The guild on this server hasn't done anything crazy like set up our frickin' rocket base there, you know what I mean? But even then, it's like you fill up enough titanium quickly enough, even on the small node islands, it's not that big of a deal. Double crawled the spice with 0 worm aggro. How? Are you saying that they're cheating, or are you saying that they were so efficient? You're making me nervous here a little bit, Mike. Those are numbers that I don't want to deal with. Holy shit. That's like Zerg status, bro. It's a bug. Jeez, dude. You know the thing about Zergs, and this is what plays into me being solo really well, I can fuck you guys up with this too, is if there's a Zerg, bro, not all of them can be in a party. If there's a big guild, not all of them can be in a party. And you can coordinate colors all you want, but when, you know, when your colors are sussed out, I could go swap over to black and white pretty quickly. And then start trying to cause some confusion, and the bigger the guild, the bigger the Zerg, the easier it is going to be to actually cause the confusion. Yeah, that's crazy. They double crawled the spice with 0 worm aggro, and you're saying they were out there with 16 people. Holy shit. I want to see this. I want to see this Zerg, bro. Where is this Zerg at? Are they aggressive? Like, where are they at? Bullhorn, how you doing? We're doing all right. It was at 1 a.m. Today? Oh, so they be hitting that late night. Well, at least you guys have some competition happening. Shit. Maybe some more competition than you guys can handle, honestly. Seems like way more than I'm ready to handle, bro. Like, 16 people on a large spice field. I can only imagine that 8 of them were defending. That's wild. I wonder if that guy ever picked up his carrier. We're doing all right, Bullhorn. How about you? We're doing all right. It's been a bit slow here. There's a couple forward operating bases that are very much so going to be cleared out. Not a whole lot going on. Had a bit of some weirdness happen at the PvP ship. Dirty Mike snuck in there. Faster than fast. Didn't even have to hit up a single bit of the PvE. Slides in through the doors. Good, just waking up. Nice. Very nice. They dropped an update today inside of Dune Awakening where they first off patched out some sort of dupe that was happening in the places, but they also... Dirty Mike, you guys have a pretty big guild. You weren't able to even, like, put up a fight against them double carriering? You weren't even able to get in there and lay some rockets in on their carrier ornithopter? I don't know how hard it is to down a carrier ornithopter, but I mean, like, at least cause some mayhem. What the hell was I saying before? Oh, right. They are also, next week after the Deep Desert Reset, going to be adding in more land. Blitz, are they still down? I'm on an NA server right now. So it's not all of the NA server. So the Resistant is called Dust, and they have a Discord with 50 players, I'm assuming. All do-gap underdogs, but their common enemy has all quit. How many people are left inside of the Fermentally Unstable Guild? Licorice says his server's finally up. Hank brought up earlier to try logging into a different siege, and then logging out and back into your siege. Who the hell is Ben? Who is Ben? And can somebody give that man a fuel cell so he can get his power back on? Or can they add something to make it to where we can raid a clearly abandoned bases? Because who the hell is Ben? That was the most confusing part of the patch notes, in my opinion. Yours was up when you woke up? Yeah, mine, I had no problems booting in, but there was dozens of people that were having a problem. And I don't know if it's still currently ongoing. Through the Discord, there was a bunch of people complaining about it, and the devs said that they're aware of it and working on it. Why do they hate me? Why on earth would they hate me? I could see him hating Sky. I don't know who Crooked is. Arcadius, I can see him hating Arcadius too. Arcadius, I feel like, is the one blowing people up. Arcadius and Sky are just out there in their ornithopters, and they just zero out somebody else's ornithopter and don't even check the loot, bro. They just zero it out and fly it away. That's fucking Sky and Arcadius for you. Oh, we cooked him in D6. Me and Arcadius cooked him in D6. Get wrecked, bro. How many are in your guild, though, is what I'm wondering. How many people do you have in your guild? Yeah, I know. That's another one of those descriptions. 28? Okay, about a dozen active. You guys are fucked. You guys are screwed, bro. Y'all, oh my god. You're right. Their common enemy is cooked, and they're about to just take this bitch over. They're about to become their own enemy. They're about to become the people that they hated. And I'm here for it, bro. Hopefully they get comfortable enough to start building in the deep desert. We gotta be quiet, though. If there's 50 of them, they might be listening. But shh, come build in the deep desert. I won't raid you. Come on. Yeah, but numbers matter, though. Especially in a game where these ornithopter rockets can just absolutely blitz people out of the sky. Numbers matter, especially in Sky Battle. But you're not wrong. I think it was I'm almost positive it wasn't you guys that... It wasn't. I remember, because you came out to possibly hit them. When I was solo pestering them while they were crawling, right? And they weren't able to take me out. If I was going against Arcadius and Sky and they were in the fucking air, bro, my Ornithopter would have been wrecked way too fast. Those guys have way too much experience in the air. Every time I see this arena, it tricks me, bro. I'm like, what is this? So you're right. They're not that skilled. You get like 10 of them sons of bitches in the sky, though, and they don't need to be skilled. They're like scattergunning you. You're in the highest player count server. We're getting all the shitters from the dead server. That must be fun. Everybody like seeing the high player count and deciding to pop over, and now it's a chain effect that's taking place. I could see that. So the high pop server only gets higher and higher pop. Damn, bro. I wonder whose carrier I took out the other day. It was in Atreides yesterday. It was in Atreides colors. So I'm guessing it was Dust. The dusty old bastards. Also in that server, an F6 is just a nightmare most of the day. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I keep hearing a lot of people talk about the F6 nightmare, bro. It's just, that ain't it on this server. This server is weird. These dusty players are weird. Shit. Oh, tipped ya. Here, I'll give you a little something for your troubles. That seems like a fair trade. I don't know what poor person I just took down, unfortunately. They had no shield. They were just out here farming. I'm an asshole, whatever. I didn't break his chassis. Okay, we took 50 titanium from him. He'll fucking respawn. He's fine. We barely tipped him with that, bro. Like, our rapier, just the very tip of it caught him there. Some farmer, some poor farmer. Hey, we didn't chassis break him, OMC, alright? Broke into a base, but you couldn't find the sub-thief, really. So if you're having a hard time finding the sub-thief, your next play is to break the generators. If you break the generators, the base's defenses will never come back up. After the generators are popped, what you can do is you can whip out your build tool, because probably they're hiding it under the foundation somewhere. So you're going to look on the floors for any sort of like thing that's not a foundation. I'll show you when we get to my base here what I mean. Because if you highlight a foundation, you can see the bottom chunk of it. But if you highlight a floor, you can it's only just that flat surface. So you should be able to peg out where it's hidden fairly easily. Will, I would never thump somebody's ornithopter, dude. That is so messed up. Last night we were taking chassis. But that was circumstantial. It was like some weird circumstances. The first chassis we took was from a rocket ornithopter that was just parked there for no reason. So it was like, you're gonna lose your chassis today. And then the second one, maybe arguably a little bit more cruel. was that carrier ornithopter we took out at F6. But you gotta teach these people a lesson, bro. If you're gonna come out here solo with a carrier ornithopter to carry a buggy round and mine titanium, you're gonna lose your carrier, bro. Don't be dumb. Don't do dumb things. I appreciate that, Will. Maybe always, except for like raw talent. We might be we might be missing some raw talent, but that's something that comes with time. You got to get the reps in, which is why I'm saying Sky and Arcadius are just monsters in the sky, because monsters in their ornithopter. I guess that's confusing because his name is Sky. They're monsters in their ornithopter because they frickin' have a lot of reps. But honestly, I wish PvP in this game was more focused on drawing two consenting parties into fighting each other. And one way they could do that was by making the flagging system that I talk about, where I actually risk something if I decide to flag on somebody, so therefore they have a reason to fight back. And also I have a reason to search out other PvPers who have flagged so I could potentially get a come up from them, you know what I mean? Pretty sure it's just dumping a base for buggy and then take it out to PvP zone. Oh, that base over there is for sure just a buggy dump. Oh. No. Dumb. Evil boxman, dumb. Don't do that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. No. You disassemble the buggy, you put it in your inventory, you go build the buggy base, and then you assemble the buggy in the buggy base. Why would you use a carrier ornithopter to carry a buggy to the base? And on top of that, his carrier ornithopter was parked in the hole, and he was, like, his buggy was right next to it. Yeah, no, that guy was just straight dumb. Even if you're moving your buggy around, why would you move it like that into the PvP zone? It's the craziest thing. You lost your assault because you got greedy for spice. Some solo guy acted like he was collecting it and just destroyed me with missiles and my assault. Oh no, AG. That sounds exactly like something I would do. People are crazy. Risk a carrier for a buggy. Yeah, no, they're crazy. And what's even more wild is that guy could have gotten in his carrier and run. But instead he didn't. So he could have just gotten in his carrier and left, but he instead left his carrier there to get... Whoa, 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 we got that bug going on. Oh, gotcha. People are crazy, risky carrier. Oh yeah, I already read that. Good. Good. What would make this game better is to have vicinity voice chat always on. Would be a lot more humanity to it. I don't know about that, OMC. I'm not sure there's anything that he could say that would let me spare him. I mean, we only took 50 titanium from him. He's fine. I don't think that's the plea to sympathy that you think it would be. Honestly, like in Rust and shit too, with like the always active voice chats, that's when it gets wild, bro. People get mean. What kind of Harkonnen asshole came into this my control spot? I'm not convinced we're alone. That's why I pocketed my ornithopter. I don't know if this was the island where the guy was at. This is all like aluminum, so I don't think it was. I'm just not convinced we're alone. Rust brings out the worst in people. It does, bro. It does. That's a level of toxicity I couldn't handle, bro. People like barking at me while I'm crawling on the ground and they just killed me to take all my stuff. That's a level of toxicity I can't handle, bro. I'd be shutting voice chat off in Rust as quickly as possible. The other thing with control spots is that each time to retake them would require one more player than before. I think control spots need to be reworked entirely, and they should be events that spawn on a timer, similar to how Throne and Liberty runs their like timed guild versus guild combat. So the way I would do it is like every 6 hours, a control point would spawn in the deep desert, and like 30 minutes before it spawns, it would tell you where it's going to spawn. And so that way any guilds who wanted to go partake in trying to control this control point could. And then once it spawns, it's like a 15-minute battle where, like, say this whole island is a control point, or like the middle of this island is a control point, and it's now like a 15-minute battle of ornithopters in the sky and people on the ground, and 2 guilds, 3 guilds, 3 groups trying to fight over to whoever can control the control point, and whoever holds it for the most time out of the 15 minutes gets like 10,000 gets like 10,000 of a goal amount pushed towards that goal, or whatever amount of a goal amount you can have, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the same assault ornithopter. Sir. Come get your shit. I even hooked you up with some extra stuff, dude. Come get your stuff. I'm gonna take another chunk of some titanium, though. Call it the, you haven't gotten your shit yet tax. Call it the get your shit together tax. Adam, about to head out to the deep desert for the very first time. Good luck. I don't use the life scanner. I just let it happen. People bring it there or not. You know, the life scanner, I don't think is that great of a tool. It's not that often where somebody's in a spot where I don't know where they're at. You know what I mean? Is there any way you can take the pieces? No. Unfortunately, the ornithopters are completely protected. You can bust into the storage to get the storage out of it, and you can also break the chassis, which makes it to where they have to fully disassemble it to repair it, but no, you can't take anybody else's stuff. If you could take other people's ornithopters, we'd have walked out of the deep desert with a carrier ornithopter last night. No remorse, I would have taken that whole thing. And then we would have lost an assault ornithopter. It's kind of messed up, but I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it as them trying to avoid people full losing their vehicles, because that's like a bit, that's a bit of a sad day. It's a sad day when you lose your full vehicle, you know what I mean? And I'm talking like a full loss, not like us losing our ornithopter chassis last night. It's no big deal. But like a full loss of the ornithopter via like a sandworm or I guess even the chassis pops a bitch because it's like the durability loss, but it's not that big of a deal. What do we have here? This guy looks dusty. He looks like a duster. You need plastanium and spice mostly. Plastanium for sure is like the most important thing that comes out of the deep desert. There's a workaround for spice. Also, I think plastanium's like the easiest, as long as you don't hit up like these super main hub islands. And I guess that's server dependent. Like, you might be on a server where you can hit up the main island, but as long as you hit up like the side islands, you should walk out of there with plenty of plastanium. Same thing goes with spice. If you find like an obscure medium spice field off in the side, you should easily be able to walk out of there with like 10,000 spice, no problem. If there was full loss on vehicles, PvEers would have to form guilds, and maybe Funcom knows that most don't want to. If it was full vehicle loss, it would just give the PvEers one more reason not to even take one single step into the deep desert. I think a flagging system to make it to where the person who flags and attacks first is gonna lose gear. I think that's just the best system, bro. It would literally be incentivizing PvE players to fight back. It would be making PvP players think...
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
It would be making PvPers think twice about who they want to attack because they're potentially risking their stuff. Where was that other one at? It was like H8, wasn't it? Some shit like that. H6 maybe, something? Fuck was that other one at? There was another forward operating base somewhere. I don't remember where, damn it. Oh, that's actually not a terrible idea.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Honestly, even like some spare MK5 assault ornithopters, like realistically, if you roll out in an MK5, are you at more of a risk of being chased down? Yes. But in that same breath, it's like, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like, with an MK5, you can get in and out of the deep desert with a full load of titanium faster than you think. Meaning that, you know, you knock out 2 full loads of titanium and all of a sudden you have your 2 tier 6 wings.
A large sandstorm.
Some Harkonnen asshole. You just logged on to check. Apparently some randoms wiped your F6 Nightmare Titanium for all. Oh no, what do you mean, Meekseeks? Your F6 Nightmare.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
And I don't remember where the other one's at. It's like H8 or some shit.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Come on, pop the shield. It's hitting it like dead on. Surely it's gonna pop the shield. Alrighty, well, we got some rockets out of it. Gotta wait for this sandstorm to pass to try to make it to that other base. I don't remember where it's at, unfortunately. Wayne! Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. We're doing good. We're doing good. Wayne, thanks for asking. Appreciate you stopping by. We're doing all right. It's been a pretty slow night. There's not much going on out here in the deep desert. Only a couple of lackluster forward operating bases we've run into. There is some interesting happenings on this server, though, because apparently there's a Zerg in the making, and it is a Zerg that could potentially be big enough to cause some problems for the Deep Desert Police Department, the Fermentally Unstable Guild. Could potentially cause some big problems for them. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, and if... Is that a base? I don't think it is. If the Zerg becomes too comfortable, we may be able to actually see some bases get put up out here. Who knows? Who knows? Plan on scout out guild bases early in the morning. People are dumb enough to build in PvP and tell everyone where they have built. No shot. Are people really telling people where they've built in PvP zones on your server? Oh, a raid boss. I gotcha. There is no raid boss, but I guess like the Zerg itself is gonna be a bit of a raid boss to the server. Not so much for me. I'm just gonna be here to like cause trouble between the two guilds warring it out. Man, Evil, you really got guilds building out in the deep desert, the PvP zone on your server? That bums me out. This server doesn't have enough guilds. There's realistically not much of a reason to build in the PvP zone, but there's not enough guilds to facilitate it either. One on the Titanium Island, another on the Giro, and one on the far left. Nice. Well, apparently I was way off with my prediction as to where that other forward operating base was. I don't even frickin' remember. It couldn't have been H8, because that's where... It couldn't have been H8, because that is where the, PvP ship is. Australians like to troll in the global chat and give away information. Haha. Nice. Hey, that's huge, actually. I wouldn't mind if there was people in the chat scouting bases and pointing them out, but if I scouted a base, I wouldn't point it out because I'm raiding that base, you know what I mean? I want that base to stay just as hidden as the guy who made it. That sounds like a guild who's just asking somebody to come in and try and raid it. Then they're looking for some of that online action. That to me sounds like a bored guild looking for some people. Shit! Shit, how you doing? We're solo. We're solo for now. We're riding it solo for now. Oh shit! Are you serious? We'll see if we can cheese this. I'm not even concerned if the loot's here or not. I just want to see if I can slide on the side like they did earlier. It's fucking red. Like, what do you mean cheese it, you guys? It's red all the time.
Reveal yourself. Who's that? I require backup.
Hey! You serious? Coming in with the follow over on Twitch. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hey. Guys, we can talk about this, can't we? I mean, like, this seems a bit... Hey, a grenade? Seriously? Double grenade, huh? I don't really appreciate that. Okay, Clinton. Oh, Joffrey. Did you bring me the tea, Joffrey? Alright, what sort of sick asshole looted this chest? You know what I mean? What sort of son of a gun thinks they can sneak in here and loot this chest? I'll tell you what. They're gonna have to answer for what they've done. Okay, I can't. There we go. Oh, no. And, okay, hold on. Wait for it. Turn around. Nope. Okay. Shit. We fell out of the chair. Did I see the patch notes? They're adding more rock formations to the PvE in the deep desert. Yes, I was bummed out that they said PvE only. This chest hasn't been looted, so this one might be spawning soon, which means Dirty Mike might be on his way back, which means we might have some action over here, huh? Dirty Mike and the boys is gonna come in here for some action. Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. If anybody comes in here, you just tell them, pause, timeout. People complaining in global chat. I'm sure global chat's so much fun to watch. I'm sure global chat's just an absolute blast when something like that. What swatch is this on your armor? So I think swatch. I don't know the names. Man, it's the blue swatch? Does that work? Does that help at all? It's the blue one? I don't know the names. Sunset? No, it's not sunset. Can I look? Oh, I can look. I can look. I can literally show you this. It's the Mala swatch. Where I got it? Don't even know. Don't even know. What side do you think they're gonna log in on if they're doing the login? This is probably one people are heavily logging in on. Oh, I was there, dude. Oh, it's one of the DLC colors. Gotcha, brutal. I swear, people in the deep desert are something else, dude. The guy yesterday who was literally doing maybe the dumbest thing I've seen anybody do in Dune Awakening, and he carried his... I mean, like, hidden in plain sight. Do you think they would notice me here? I was doing this in the last dungeon, but that was more of like a shaded area. I don't think it would have worked. Back right of the room has a cubbyhole. I hate these people, dude. Oh, I hate these people, bro. This game, dude. Figure it out. Can you get in that? They need to do something to stop this shit. It's irritating. I was thinking in my head, I was like, back right? Oh, yeah, you're right. I was like, back right is completely and totally freaking determined by where you're looking. Back right could actually be any of these corners. Oh, gosh. You've been picking up swatches from the Lands Rad reps, convenient turn-ins, did a bunch of Open Fire gems, etc. yesterday. Man, I need to start checking the Lands Rad rewards. I mean, that's pretty hidden. That's a pretty good spot right there. What came out? What did we learn today? The circuit gauntlets are interesting. I don't know what Indara's lullaby is, but it sounds interesting. Pincushion boots. I'm like stuck on the soft step. I don't know what people expect Evil to come into the deep desert and just have a nice peaceful time. I don't know. Guy's out here with his carrier ornithopter carrying a buggy around and then setting the carrier ornithopter down to then mine 1,500 titanium with his buggy to then pick the buggy back up and carry the buggy out. And what happens? We run up on him and he loses his shit and gets mad and says that's the most toxic PvP I've ever seen. And it's like, look, dude, first off, I did not even thumper your carrier ornithopter. If I did, that would be maybe an argument for toxic PvP. Ooh, that was good to find out that I can't come out of that before I got stuck. No way. No way are you carrier mining with a buggy in your deep desert. That is crazy, bro. That's crazy. This guy didn't even get in his carrier ornithopter and leave after we rolled up on him. So the last time the chest did actually reset visually, so I'm a little less concerned about not seeing the visual reset. Watch him come right out of that cubby, and it's another one of those situations where I think I'm hiding and the hunter becomes the hunted. No, I didn't make a YouTube video about the carrier. I don't think it's much worth, like, here we go. I don't think it's much worth making a video about. Here comes Dirty Mike. Dirty Mike thinks he's gonna fucking slide in here, huh? I'm not on H2, Dirty. I am on H2, Dirty. Trust me, I'm not on anywhere. Your Landrat has Kind's cut array for turning in agave seeds? Ooh. It would be Dirty Mike and the boys, too. You know Sky's not coming out here alone. There's the boys. Damn. There's another use for the agave seeds, though, that would drive the price up. I didn't even think about that. Here come the boys! Fuck. No, 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 no! I'm on fire, I'm on fire! Oh, saved by the bell. Saved by the fall, dude. Go, go, go! Where'd the boys go? There was another one in here. That's what I like about these guys, is typically they won't go full 2v1 status here. They keep it nice and chill, you know what I mean? Which I appreciate as a solo, not having to deal with these guys 2v1ing me all the time. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Can't let him get that stun lock in on me. Bad timing on my part. Predictable. Oh, what a shot. Is this Sky? Fuck, I missed my block, bro. It's over. That was a GG. The fires got me. That was a GG. Hey, is this Sky? Hey, Sky? Yeah. What? How much shield damage is my blade doing? Oh, it's Mike. It's Mike. Hey, Mike, let me slash you and tell me how much shield damage this does. What shield damage did that do?
Nothing. No damage. Oh, so little. Like negligible. It regens immediately.
What about this? Hold on. What about this? Hold on. One more.
Nothing.
Dude, that's so shit. This spark sword is shit, bro. Losing the poison for the spark ain't
Hold
it.
on. Let me try.
It's immediate regen. It's an immediate regen. You could stab me all day and my shield would never drain.
Let me try it heavy.
Are you using the spark sword as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't it. Not for the shield drain. This ain't it, bro.
Well, that's fucking sad.
It is. It's a bit of a waste of... I dropped my poison for this. I think poison would have done me better.
Who was the other guy? I just showed up. I heard there was 2 people here.
Do you not see this guy right here?
Yeah, no, I know Cyanide. I'm gonna party with him, but when he got here, he said he was fighting 2 people.
Bro, where did that guy go? I thought it was both you.
No, I checked all the ID holes while you guys were fighting. He's not in here.
He must have took off. He's one of them chicken
What loot are you
PvEers.
looking for?
Bro, I'm looking for the
Are you looking
Emperor's
for
Wings.
Emperor?
Yes, I am. Are you guys here for
We're
Emperor?
just here for Buggy.
Okay. Alright. Yep. Let's ride it then. If it's Emperor, you guys can drop it. If it's Buggy, take it, because I don't need the Buggy.
Beautiful.
Honestly, I think the Emperor's Wings are going to be ass as well, but I'm desperate to try them.
I get them every time I'm here. I've only someone else got a Buggy, so we have one, but yeah, I get Emperors every single time. They're cool. The power drain on them is extremely low.
With the full dispenser, I just get so much air, and with the Emperor's Wings, I feel like it's not as much, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've used them.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah,
not
Xena,
as
these
much,
guys are
but
lit.
Power drain's like a third or a fourth. It's so low.
These guys are the ones who are actually getting
You use
zerged on.
Spencer Dash instead of using Stam to dodge, because Spencer Dash doesn't use any Stam. That's what Arcadius does. So maybe these are for that.
Arcadius jumps in the air and suspensor dodges every time. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yeah, it's a safe Stam.
God, the timing on that is weird. Also, I'm dodging into you. Even if I'm pulling away. Wait, why is my S walking me forward? Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm gonna have to
So,
change my
come in
dodge
here,
to
you gotta
something
check
else.
This little spot over here. This is where I'm always at.
Another little hole, huh? So you don't log out, you just literally stand here?
Yeah, I never log out. That's bunk. Yeah.
Why does it look like you're in rags? Are you like cosmetically putting on rags? It looks
Yeah.
like you're you sick
I'm
bastard.
hobo.
You son
Yeah.
of a bitch. Every time I'm fighting, I'm like, this guy's gonna be easy. He's not wearing shit. It's just cosmetic.
Earlier in here. Oh yeah, I told you on the stream. Yeah, I fought you earlier in here, and I noticed it was you because I don't know what you're wearing, but you always look the same. But yeah, I was bugged. I don't know. My crippling strike was like blocked out. I couldn't even use it. I don't know if you disabled me or what was going on. But I just ran away.
I was dead. You caught me at the worst time. I ran away. We must have both ran in opposite directions because I needed to heal. I blitzed, bro. Chat says hi to Dirty Mike and the boys. These guys are cool, Xena. You're 100% correct. They're pretty chill. They're chill, but they can also be toxic. Don't get it twisted. Like, Sky's a fucker. Arcadius is a fucker. Dirty Mike is pretty chill.
So we just ran H2, and we saw the loot, and we went in, and we did the whole lab, and we got to the loot room, and it's empty, dude.
It's
A guy named Laley
sickening.
is just logging and taking the loot over and over. Last time he logged in, we killed him right when he logged in, but this time he got us while we were going through the lab.
Did you pull like a whole chunk of schematics off of him when you took him down?
Yeah, Zionite killed him and got 3 of these shitty swords off of him.
Yeah, bro, I'm actually gutted about this sword. I thought it was gonna be it. I'm sitting here slashing him, and I'm like, his shield's got to be close to drained. It's still at full, bro. It's still at full. Damn it. You know what? When Sky, you know, it might actually pair well with what Sky does in that gravity mine, with the gravity mine and dropping the shield as well. But even then, it's like it's just an incremental help. They need to start giving us specific numbers here so we don't have to trial and error this shit. You put dodge on your mouse?
Yeah, that's such a bummer. I feel like if there's something we're missing, like every 3rd hit, it chunks or something. Hit me like sticks or break my shield. Oh my god, it's awful. It's
Nothing.
awful.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's like it's comical. I bet. Hey, tell him to stab a couple times because I want to see. Does it do the other stabs do? You stab me a couple times, because do the other stabs even damage? No, not you. Zio or whatever. Yeah, stab me a couple times.
Yeah.
Bruh, he does exactly as much shield damage as we do. His does as much as ours does. This is like a bunk description here.
So maybe it's just bugged or something.
I would hope. Or it's just like a false description. That's the starter armor cosmetic. It's actually smart. It's actually smart.
Get a cauterizer?
Controls, keybinds, dash, thumb, mouse button. I just think I'm gonna fat finger this thing. Like on like the heavy stab, what do you mean does it damage more on parry? It says here that it utilized to shock and disrupt the power supplies of their opponent. But when you look at it, it actually, in these stats, it just says damage type, damage per hit, and attack speed. There's no, like, extra stat in there. So, like, no power drain stat. It's pretty dumb. Can I double keybind it? I can. Okay. Well, that's good. So I don't have to. I can just work into that. Hobo Star, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well. I like that. And with it on, it's a lot easier to actually hit. Is he talking, bro? Is he talking? His mic symbol's up, but I don't hear nothing. If I parry him, does it damage the shield? Hey, Chad has a question. Will you attack me, and I'm gonna parry you, and see if it damages your shield.
Okay.
Okay, I forgot to say I suck at parries, so just keep going. Okay, this is the one. Just it'll happen. It'll happen.
Okay.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
One.
Just one more. Okay, that ain't it. What the hell, bro? What the hell?
What is going on?
I don't know. All right, damn, bro, damn. Did that damage your shield?
No
No.
damage.
Unreal.
Yeah, it must be bugged.
parry and
I
then
don't know
stamp.
How else it would proc the shield damage if it's not heavy, it's not light, like.
Well, the
not
stats don't even say anything like, oh, a 3% extra power drain. So maybe I think it's just a bunk description. It's just one of those lore descriptions. So it's technically a unique schematic that has no unique effect, like a base blade, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm switching swords right when I get back to base.
Bro,
for sure.
bro, dead ass. I might even drop the 30 damage buff that I got from this for the poison, but honestly, the 30 damage has been doing decent against the PvE, so.
What are you talking about, 30 damage buff?
Bro, the other blade I have is only at 100 damage. It's tier 5.
You don't have like a Halix or a Carterizer?
What, like just
Yeah.
the regular tier 6 one?
No, a Halix pick or the Carterizer. You don't have either of those?
I'm gonna say no, because I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm gonna assume not.
Yeah, so last
This
week,
game
the
sucks.
Warfare-
I love it so much. Ivory, it's so
like,
true.
things, you got Carterizer, which is a short blade that causes fire damage. And then the Halix pick is poison. It's a rapier with poison.
Oh, shit. And that came in last week's, dude? We fucked up. This
I
auction
think
house is
Halix
busted
was
on
like
this server.
2 or 3
2 or
weeks
3,
ago,
I
'cause
gotcha.
We're all getting low. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, you got to pay attention to Landsrad because some of those turn-ins are worth pushing for person.
Oh, man, I've skipped Landsrad so many weeks. You're so right. I skip it every damn week.
Yeah, every week there's like a.
The pick is the other rapier. Now I'm actually gutted, dude, because if it's another rapier, I needed that shit. I needed that shit big time, bro. Shit, dude. What is Indara's lullaby? Now it's like, what's happening, bro? I don't want to pay attention to this, but I'm gonna have to. These suck. Is this a sniper? No, it's a burst with a damage per shot of 52. These suck, though, right? Can we get a description on this thing? But yeah, it's so true, Ivory. That the game sucks, that you just gotta love it. Couldn't agree more. And that's why every time I start complaining about the game, I always have to preface it with, look, I've got over 300 hours into this game, so as much as the complaints I have about it, it's still a solid foundation. It's something you hate so much you just can't stop playing. I think Arcadius put it right the other day when he was like, I'm just addicted to this stupid ass game. Yeah, burst machine gun, but the assault rifles, like, in PvP are ass, I'm pretty sure. Even in PvE, it just ain't it, with the way it's dropping your shield. This server is struggling. It really is. It's struggling. So for mentally unstable, there used to be 2 guilds in the Harkonnen side, the Deep Desert Police Department, and then for mentally unstable. Deep Desert Police Department was big, but then ended up dissolving, and then they dissolved into for mentally unstable, which apparently is 28 people strong, but only about 12 active. These guys, Atreides, have not had a presence out here in the deep desert until the past couple of weeks, where they have come out in a bit of a Zerg form, if you will. They've essentially built up a resistance, they call it, to the Deep Desert Police Department, and now there are, I think Mike was saying there was 16 of them clearing out large spice fields with crawlers, and they're taking advantage of some common bug where, like, they're not drawing any attention from the worm while they do it. I don't know exactly how all that works. I'm obviously not out here solo sand crawling shit. But these guys actually have some big competition working their direction. A bunch of raggers can take you out, bro. Like, I mean, shit, you get a bunch of rune crossbow bolters inside of RuneScape, dude. They're gonna take you down. I gotta be careful with that, bro. I'm gonna just be draining my shield. I'm assuming if I get shot with damn, dude, you could like practically dodge infinitely as long as you can jump. So you really should be saving all of your stamina for when you can't jump. Is that the suspensor dash? It is. And you see it's draining my power, not my stamina. So I just jump dodged 5 times. The only time I couldn't do that is if they actively had me in a heavy stab. And then I would have to. So I need to save all of the actual stamina for those type of situations where they have the heavy stab on and I need to dodge. We've also run into situations here where, like, weapons like that shotgun, that scattergun shotgun that A, can lock you in a stun lock, and B, sets your ass on fire, is a problem. That shotgun is a problem. And apparently the fire and poison does stack, which is even more of a problem. Do I mind showing the build? Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. We actually reworked it just the other day. We'll start off with Planetologist because this is probably where I'm wasting the most points. But I want the overcharge for when I'm flying in the air so my power doesn't, like, drain as quickly. Same with the conservation of energy. I need this so my power doesn't drain as quickly. So, like, that's a lot of wasted points there. And even the compaction, because I don't want to be swapping back and forth dependent on what I'm doing that day, I wanted to have at least level 3 compaction going. I'm a little less concerned with, like, the cut array mining, but even vehicle mining I bumped up. But where's the cut array mining? We left that alone. Like the deep analysis and the cut array, we left that alone. And then, so this is probably where I'm wasting most of my points at. And then we have the Sword Master, where realistically we're pushing up to level 3 general conditioning for the maximum stamina, and I need the crippling strike as a part of the build. And right here, anything that's buffing my poise damage is something that I've also been trying to push, so we pushed up to solid stance as well. And before I was running short blade, but we're actually now running the rapier, which is a long blade. The funny thing with the rapier is it's a long blade that it has the same attack speed as the dagger. This fastest dagger in the game has an attack speed of 139 and is a short blade, and then the rapier is attack speed of 139 and is a long blade. So you get a little bit more reach with the rapier compared to the dagger. So we've recently swapped the skill over to long blade, and we're ignoring short blade now. What else? What else we got going on? What is this? Bene Gesserit. This is another one here where I am just realistically trying to reduce as much poise damage as possible. Eventually, I'll level all of this up all of the way, maybe even that one up as well. But then we bumped into blade damage, and I need the weirding step as a part of my build. And then that's realistically about all we've got going right now. The level 3 Shigawire Claw, because that's a huge part of my build. And Suspensor Efficiency, as well as Suspensor Dash. Because like I said, when I'm flying in the air firing rockets at Ornithopters, I want to be able to sustain myself as much as possible. We may eventually even swap to this Death from Above thing to do more ranged damage while we are hovering, you know? Same logic goes with the heavy weapon damage. I want my Ancient Way rocket launcher to be doing as much as possible, which is why slotting this in might actually be the play compared to like the Bindu stability, because that's going to give me that extra damage, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're not at level. Max level's 200, but we ain't there yet. I'm way off. It would probably take at least like a full day of picking fiber, dude, to get up to level 200. I'm lazy as hell. I don't want to pick fiber for a day. I feel like we missed the reset on this thing. I feel like we missed the reset. Just logged in. Are we stuck waiting for a chest like yesterday's? Matthew, we came down here to check this chest out. Dirty Mike and the boys have been farming this chest on a timer. So predictably, they made their way down here. We got in a fight with this guy right here. And then they're looking for the buggy storage, and all that I want out of this stupid chest is the Emperor's Wings. So we're just hanging, waiting for the reset. If it's a Emperor's Wings, they're gonna drop it. If it's the storage, you're gonna keep it, because I don't need the buggy storage. Crazy think level 180 is only halfway to level 200. It is actually wild that RuneScape level scaling and experience is something I like, though. So I like that. I like it a lot. These guys just flat walked through this again, though. I don't understand. Was that because I cleared it previously? They were just able to walk through it again. I had to fight off the PvE. I don't understand. It is unfortunate, Hank. You were fortunate enough to buy the buggy storage from the Landsrad? Nice. Very nice. That might be actually one of the use cases or the arguments people could make for popping off that tools Landsrad. There was somebody in the chat the other day who was like, why did they vote this in? I'm upset. And I was like, I don't know what. I wonder what comes out of it. I think somebody earlier in the chat was talking about some tier 6 ornithopter wings that come out of it, which are actually ridiculous. So it'd be interesting to see. I haven't looked into it. I'm actually going to pull that up here in a minute, but I'll be right back. What is it? What's in the tool vendor? Oh, you can get the Emperor's Wings MK6 and the compact compactor out of there MK6. Nice. That's actually big. The tools vendor sucks, actually. I didn't realize there was a vehicle vendor. The vehicle vendor is what you want. Yeah, you got the focused MK6 cut array out of there for the buggy, and then the buggy boot MK6. It's not bad. There's no ornithopter wings in there, though, so I don't know what we were talking about earlier. You got a second compactor? Man, I gotta stop skipping the Landsrad. Did they? Oh, I was like, did they loot the shit and leave? Like, what the fuck? What the hell, bro? Oh, like, surely they would have been like, all right, there was nothing in there. We out. I need to stop skipping the Landsrad rewards, like this week, for example. My God, finally.
Buggy boot. Yeah.
Hey, nice. Very nice.
Yeah. All right, if you want take everything else, we're good on all the goodies.
Oh, I do need that, actually. Yep, we'll take that. We'll take that. All right, kill. GG's.
Cheers, man. GG.
You got the MK6. It was 200. Yeah, those Landsrad things are pretty expensive. Well worth it, though. I wish the weapons vendor would come back. Hopefully we win this week, and the weapons vendor does come back. Because I need a new ancient way. My ancient way is worse for wear, bro. The boom booms are struggling. Alright, that was brutal, man. We sat there for like a good 30 minutes. That was brutal. I think I jumped there early. I think I got there early. Way early. Man, Lucas, that's crazy. And if I went to my auction house, blueprints aren't for sale and they're not buying either. That's why I was telling these guys. I was like, our auction house is shit, bro. So I couldn't even realistically rely on making my way over to that auction house and getting anything from it. I don't have rockets on my thing. I don't even have rockets in my inventory. Damn it! I'm like, can we push him to the ground, maybe? Because he's just going to go up and glide off. Dude, hey, chat said what's up to you guys. I meant to say. They said what's up, and I'm glad we actually got the opportunity to test that as well, because I was rolling into this week fully convinced that this blade was going to be a game changer, and it in fact is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. We can only hope it's just a bug, but it's not gonna be. To me, it sounds like that whole description is just like their cheesy ass lore type description. Get down. This guy's free as can be. Free as can be. I wouldn't be able to force him to the ground, OMC. There's no shot that I would actually be able to pull that off. Did you see how little his thing moves? Zero chance he'd have been pushed to the ground. He was safe the moment he got in his ornithopter. Spice and Plastanium are probably the two most reliable things that I could manage to sell on our auction house. Maybe agave seeds. I'm like crossing my finger these agave seeds sell. But even if they do, I've got nothing to spend that gold on because other than Plastanium or Melange. Because there's no good schematics on the auction house. How do you know what is coming up in the next Landsrad vote? Because you're the second person to bring that up, Matthew, that you know what's coming in the next one. Is there a website that's telling people where it's at? Your exchange is dead as well? Yeah, that sucks. Mine as well. Even if I had 110 mil, there's literally nothing that I could buy with it aside from Spice Melange or Plastanium. And even then, the Melange is being sold at like 6. Each person is selling like 60 of it, and there's like 3 offers in. So I could realistically pick up 180 Melange. Cool. You know what I mean? Oh, big, dude. Big. Oh, please, dude, please. Please let Harkonnen win. You sons of bitches, you need to win, Harkonnen. Because you know these Atreides chickens are not going to pick full loot. But we got to get full loot going out here, man. I got to prepare next week just in case it is going to be full loot. Dude. That could be so big. We'll be guaranteed to lose some sets, but we'll at least finally have the opportunity to take some sets, perhaps, huh? Wonder if the big guilds are hoarding the schematics from the PvP stations? I think, realistically, there's 2 things going on. The guild that we were just looting that chest with probably uses all of their schematics. There's no reason for them to sell them because they're using them. And then this second big Zerg that's popping up, it's probably the same thing. And then finally, the people who are log out and looting and log out and looting and doing all of that are probably just like gold sellers. Get kicked. Did we try the static needle yet? I'm so glad you asked. We actually have tried it, and we've been able to test exactly how well it works with Dirty Mike, courtesy of Dirty Mike here. And it is broken. Doesn't work at all. Takes just as much shield damage off of somebody as stabbing them with a regular knife does. So it's a big no-go on the static needle. And if we take a look here, let me explain. If we take a look here, the whole description just reads like lore to me. And with every weapon, they have like a chunk of lore describing the weapon and then describing what the weapon's unique thing is, right? So this unique rapier is utilized by house forces to shock and disrupt the power supplies of their opponents. That just reads like a lore dump to me. And it performs like it's just a lore dump as well because it literally does nothing. The okay, so this is where the conversation gets complicated. The Corette Viper is only doing 100 damage. That's a problem. That is like a piss poor amount of damage. So that's a piss poor amount of damage. So when I'm running PvE, what I've noticed so far tonight when I was in the PvE section is that this shock, static, whatever blade is seemingly taking out the PvE much easier. But when it comes to PvP, it's literally doing nothing. Does the Ancient Way drop in the Deep Desert in addition to the Landsrad vendor?
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching. Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
On your server, the Atreides always pick the worst Landsrad decrees. Yeah, our Atreides will never pick full loot. That's for sure. The Ancient Way, I believe, drops in the Deep Desert as well. But it's got to be in, like, one of those weekly rotations. I've only seen it from the Landsrad rewards as well, but I think people were saying it was in, like, week 1 of the Deep Desert loot pool, so it's potential that it makes its way in. Honestly, I don't know. There's confirmation for sure that stuff like the vehicle Landsrad vendor can have the tier 6 buggy boot, but this week we have the tier 6 buggy boot as well. So there's confirmation that stuff from the vendors can be in the loot pool, and I would assume that carries over to the Ancient Way as well. Oh, that is just a guess, though. I'm trying to see if I can find any sort of, like, straggling bases out here while this sandstorm's making its way through. It could also potentially make its way into the Landsrad reward system. That's also entirely possible. Like one of the tiles for the rewards. Dirty Mike's like, if I'm camping in this one right here, he shows us his little hidey hole, and that's so funny, dude. I'm just picturing him standing in that hole, just waiting. Just in time. Like I was saying with this sword here, I don't know if I finished my thought. The static needle seems to be doing better in PvE compared to PvP. It's obviously performing, I would argue, worse because you're not getting that extra poison in. The poison is minimal, but it is extra. And this is just doesn't get that extra. I do get extra damage per stab, though. Are you on this server kicked? I didn't know you were on this server. I've heard that people on mini servers are getting bullied on Titanium Island on F6. We got our ornithopter lost yesterday because we brought it out there for no damn reason. We brought it out there for no damn good reason. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it was just a short stream today. I apologize. We came on late and we're going to have to bail early. I've got an inspector coming in to make sure that the gas lines got all repaired correctly and is all up to code and whatnot, and I've got to take care of things for that. We're going to be coming back live tomorrow, though, most likely right around our normal time of running the live, which is right around midnight Eastern, maybe like 10 p.m. Eastern, something like that, riding it on through until the morning. We do appreciate everybody stopping by. It was another crazy night. We had Dirty Mike over here on Twitch, followed up by, I know we had some more people over here on Twitch. Shirley Potato was here for a while. There he is. We had Potato jumping in for a while over on Twitch. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Dusty Dabs was here at the beginning, trying to figure out what was going on with all of the dang server problems. But also we had over on YouTube, let's take a look. Hey, we just exited. We didn't have a 5-minute countdown. Did you guys see that? I've never had that happen before. Weird. On YouTube, we got Evil Boxman coming in as the #1 fan of the day. Actually, it's a 3-way tie for first. We got Evil Boxman at 225 experience, OMC at 225, and Hank 757 at 225 as well, which makes Adam #2 and Whispering Horizon #3. We appreciate you guys. As always, I do appreciate you guys. The streams have been actually crazy. We're going to keep pumping them out. And other than that, I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I'm out.